gonna do it. Sorry, I did not do that. Maybe you need to speak louder, bitch. No, thank you. Yes, please. I don't want to go to his birthday party.
I know.
Yeah. They're all his. And I have to sleep over with a fatherless kid. Not even kidding. Look on school speak.
I know, you said that.
Yep. She's so nice. Look on school speak.
I know, you said that.
The inning is not necessarily getting a lead, but at least disrupting the rhythm and taking away the Rays, kind of projecting how this ball game could go once you get to the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and so on, where you can line up the leverage arms. Pitches high from Rasmussen. 1-2 on Springer. Works on the double bubble. Continues to twirl the baseball in his fingertips. Now gets the signal he wants. The 1-2. Fouled back by Springer. And it stays 1-2. Or is that catcher's interference again? Francisco Mejia is looking down at his glove, looking at George Springer, saying, I didn't tip the bat, did I? And George is saying, yes, I did. I felt it. And Springer, again, will reach first base on catcher's interference. And it is catcher interference. So an error on the backstop, Francisco Mejia. Mejia was raising the glove, kind of extending it out towards the back point of home plate. And I think the Rays are questioning whether or not it happened as well. George Springer is adamant about it. Now he's talking with the first base coach, Mark Budzinski, saying there's no question about this. Said it grazed it. And Springer's making that motion like a college football referee or NFL referee as a deflection. That's Tom Hallion, the third base umpire and crew chief. Corey Blazers is the home plate umpire. So we're mere moments into this ball game. We already have our first stop in the action. As if things were going along so swiftly in this series so far. The Blue Jays are currently on a tough road trip. 1-3 through Philadelphia and an 0 for start here at the Trop. The Blue Jays won the opener in Philly on Tuesday night. Had a really tough defeat in a long night of travel coming away from the city of brotherly love after a really heartbreaking loss, 4-3 in walk-off fashion against the Philadelphia Phillies. And then last night, that 10-6 loss on the heels of the opener where the Rays doubled up the Blue Jays behind Ryan Yarbrough and his bulk work, 10-5, a Rays win. So Tom Hallion, Corey Blazer, the home plate umpire, and the crew chief, they're up the third base line in conversation with New York about this. George Springer is still adamant. He might pop the top of this place if they pull him back at home plate. We're going to get our call. Here's Tom Hallion. The Tampa Bay Rays, 4 pitches into this ball game, lose their challenge. Something to keep in mind moving forward. George Springer, because of the error on the catcher on catcher's interference, stands at first base for Bo Bichette. Best September in franchise history. Right now, the most RBIs in Major League Baseball during this sizzling September for Bo Bichette. He's driven in 25. An average at 430 in the month of September for Bo. Rasmussen, the right-hander, after the pause, didn't throw. He reaches back and he deals. Bichette takes a fastball strike on the outside corner. and it's 0-1. Bo on the season batting .286, 42 doubles, which is a franchise record for a Toronto shortstop, a triple, 24 home runs, and 91 driven in. Good to see Bichette back in the batter's box as well. The 0-1. Cracked on the ground out to the shortstop. Franco feeds Mastroboni for one at second. On to first in time. 6-4-3, tailor-made double play. Well, the Blue Jays have had so many opportunities early and late into ball games to really build big frames, and it gets snuffed out by double play balls. Rare to see Bo bounce into one. He's been so hot over the last 4 weeks. Bases are clean for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We're starting on time today, 10 minutes after 6 o'clock here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Indoors, very comfortable, right where you put the thermostat, most places, 72 Fahrenheit, 22 Celsius. Outside, it is beautiful, nice and warm, 31 Celsius, 87 Fahrenheit. There's the pitch to Vladdy. Chopper towards the first baseman. Second bounce handled by Choi. Long feed on the underhand to Rasmussen. Just like that, the Blue Jays are retired on 6 pitches as the minimum comes to the plate in the first. Alek Manoah trying to be the human extinguisher once again. He's on the hill for the Blue Jays right after this. The Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the Room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Every year, we say we'll wake up earlier, exercise more, really rest, and eat healthier. It's hard for us, but for dogs, not so much. Dogs are up at dawn, run for fun, sleep like champs, and they love eating fresh, healthy food every single meal. Give your dog another healthy habit. Real, fresh food from the Farmer's Dog. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/radio.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic.
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Looking for the right color for your walls but don't know where to start? Schedule an in-home color consultation with JC Licht, and our team of color experts will help you tell your personal color story. With the best selection of paints from Benjamin Moore, JC Licht is your one-stop shop for everything you need to transform your house into your dream home. Visit jclicht.com for a location near you.
Hey, it's David from EOC Audio. Are you considering a new audio video system for your home? Wouldn't it be nice to see a real-life application of the latest and greatest technology? Then visit EOC Audio's all-new lifestyle showroom in Lisle. See technology in a home-like setting. Listen to some amazing Golden Ear or B&W speakers, experience an outdoor system, and take a few swings on the golf simulator. You can even check out what a TV in the shower looks like. Schedule your tour today at eocaudio.com. That's eocaudio.com.
Every year, we say we'll wake up earlier, exercise more, really rest, and eat healthier. It's hard for us, but for dogs, not so much. Dogs are up at dawn, run for fun, sleep like champs, and they love eating fresh, healthy food every single meal. Give your dog another healthy habit. Real, fresh food from the Farmer's Dog. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/radio.
You're one of the lucky ones. You were born a Bears fan. Your Sunday best is always blue and orange, and Sunday dinner is always eaten around a Pop tailgate. And now you're even luckier because with the Chicago Bears PNC Bank Visa debit card, you can get special discounts on certain Bears merch and concessions. Show you're a Bears fan from the gear you wear to the card you carry. PNC Bank. Passion pays. For details on discounts and other offers, visit pnc.com/BearsCard. Visa is a registered trademark of Visa International Service Association and used under license. Copyright 2021 PNC Bank National Association, member FDIC.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit titosvodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin,
and entrepreneurs, the Room's virtual financial analysts are highly trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Drive business growth with a virtual financial analyst from The Room. It's like listening to all the financial programs rolled into one. Get started today at trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
The 2-2. Fouled off to our left. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Aranda. 17 are already gone by head-to-head between the Blue Jays and the Rays. Tampa Bay won the season series with last night's win. Now 10-7 against Toronto. Leadoff man is battling against Alek Manoah. Aranda's walked 7 times and struck out 13 since being promoted. Left-handed hitter, open stance. The pitch. That's high. Fastball put him behind. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wander Franco standing out on deck. And then Randy Arozarena. No score, just getting started in the first. A little nod from Alek Manoah off the PitchCom device. Fingers tapped by Alejandro Kirk on the back half of the battery. And the payoff pitch. Right down the middle, strike 3 called. Aranda goes down looking at a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, and he's put in the glove. Eight pitch at bat, worked by Jonathan Aranda, but the punchy belongs to Manoah. 1 up and 1 down. Wander Franco, the batter. 2 for 4 last night with a walk, a double, and a couple of runs scored. Franco, 21 years of age, switch hitter batting left, takes a fastball strike on the outside corner. Manoah wearing the alternate blue uniform top. Traveling gray trousers with the split piping down the pant leg. The 0-1. Bounced out to second. Merrifield waits on a true hop. He's got it right at the cut of the turf and the dirt on to first. Franco's retired. 2 up and 2 away. We're joining you tonight from the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth here at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. Blue Jays and Rays start scoreless early. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Blue Jays defensively with Vladimir Guerrero Jr. anchoring first. Whit Merrifield just had to play at second. Now he starts in the middle of the diamond, deep. Bo Bichette, the shortstop, and Matt Chapman hugs the line at third. Randy Arozarena starts to square, bluffing a bunt. And the slider picked the outside corner for strike one. Outfield tonight for Toronto. Raimel Tapia's in left. Jackie Bradley Jr. in center. Teoscar Hernandez, he's in right. 0-1. Fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes. Arozarena has had a massive series against the Blue Jays pitching staff. He homered last night, and he drove in 6 while going 2 for 5 at the plate. In the opening game of this series, another extra base hit, a couple of more ribbies, going 3 for 4 on Thursday night. He's got some pop, and he's got a lot of speed. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball's high, right past the visor of Arozarena, who ducks out of the way. 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Randy Arozarena, he's equaled Isaac Paredes for the club lead with 20 home runs. He took Anthony Bass deep last night with a significant 3-run go-ahead home run. It went the opposite way. That was stunning, and so was the streak that was snapped by Anthony Bass after facing nearly 200 right-handed hitters. The 1-2 fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 198 batters faced by Anthony Bass, going all the way back to last August, where he had not surrendered a long ball to a right-handed hitter. And Arozarena went over the short wall in right field, 322 feet down the right field line. Two out, nobody on. The 1-2. Tapped away foul. Just got a sliver of the slider to stay alive. While Arozarena has flexed his muscles with a little power in this series, he's also been on the move, sometimes much to the chagrin of his manager, Kevin Cash. Randy Arozarena swiped his 30th on Thursday night. He said, hey, you know what? We're good. We're good on the stolen bases, Randy. You can reel it in. He's been caught 11 times. Sometimes running with reckless abandon, not only in stolen base situations, or not stolen base situations, or trying to take extra bases when putting the ball in play. Time called by Arozarena at the plate. Back pedals away from the right-handed batter's box. Now we'll settle back in and face Manoah. Right-hander's hands are locked off his chin. And the 1-2 pitch. Fastball's up and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. David Peralta, the former Diamondback, out on deck. In the first with no score. Manoah asks for a moment. Goes back to the scrub pad and drags his right foot over the pad. And now anchors back in the middle of the slab. Manoah's 2-2. Popped him up. Over to the left side. Bichette fights the trop roof. Underneath it, makes the catch. And that will retire the side. Both teams bring the minimum to the plate. We're scoreless after 1. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
DoorDash.
Place. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
The Toronto Blue Jays storm from behind, erasing a 6-run deficit.
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
This second inning is being served up by Miller Lite. Baseball's in full swing, so why not enjoy great Pilsner taste from Miller Lite, the official beer sponsor of Major League Baseball. 90 calories and 3 grams of carbs per 355 milliliters. Must be legal drinking age. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission. Scoreless start here tonight at the Trop. Alejandro Kirk, Matt Chapman, and then Teoscar Hernandez. Against the right-hander, Drew Rasmussen. Reaches back in his first pitch, laced into center field. A base hit for Alejandro Kirk. Second hit of the series for Alejandro. Matt Chapman strolls forward. First hit of the night belongs to Alejandro Kirk, and the Blue Jays have the leadoff man on. Alejandro went 0 for 4 last night, but he lined out sharply twice. He's put together some good at-bats, despite going now 2 for 8 in the series. Chapman is hitless, did reach via the walk last night. He's 0 for 6 between games 1 and 2. Right-handed hitter looks out, the pitch. High and tight at 95 miles an hour for ball 1. 27 years of age, Drew Rasmussen, not a big guy on the hill at 6 feet 1 inch, 211 pounds. Born in Washington State, went to college in Oregon, and then drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers in 2018. Is 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike. Last year acquired by the Tampa Bay Rays when the Rays parted way with one of their franchise faces and all-around good guys in Willie Adames. Also, part of that package, Trevor Richards, then was traded twice that season, becoming a Blue Jay. 1-1. Chapman fouls it off into the glove. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The return package for Willie Adames ultimately opening the gate for Taylor Walls and Wander Franco to cement themselves as the next round of prospects in the middle of the diamond for the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay needed to clear a little space. They wanted some arms in return, and boy, did they ever get a couple with Drew Rasmussen and J.P. Firerising. Runner at first. The 1-2 popped up over the diamond. Here comes Franco along with the third baseman Aranda. From third, Aranda calls and catches. 1 down. Kirk stands back at first base. We're scoreless in the second inning. The numbers will speak for themselves with Drew Rasmussen. 10 wins, a sub-3 earned run average, starting tonight at 2.92 in his earned run average. Last time out, knocked off by the Houston Astros, losing back-to-back starts for the first time in his career. Teoscar Hernandez, the batter. The pitch. Swinging a line drive up the line and left. Hooking into the corner. Foul. Hernandez all over that pitch from Rasmussen, but he yanked it foul. Solid contact by Teoscar for strike 1. Rasmussen went to the big leagues for the first time in 2020. In 2021, partly pitched with the Brew Crew and then became a Ray. And tonight makes his 27th start of the season. He's half of the package that came from Milwaukee. Mentioned J.P. Firerising, whose services are lost with a right shoulder impingement, currently on the 60-day injured list. Rays have battled big-time injuries in the bullpen and in the rotation all season long. 0-1. Chopped towards third, but foul. No balls and 2 strikes on Hernandez. For Firerising, that was a big loss. Somebody that they were going to lean on a lot in the bullpen at Tampa Bay, and his numbers were absolutely dominant. First 24 innings of the season, didn't allow an earned run, only walked 5, and struck out 25. Where he's got some bad news today as well. Shane Baz went to the bullpen mound, tried to get Crank up, threw 15 pitches, shut it down. He's going to have Tommy John surgery and likely will miss all of the 2023 campaign as well. 0-2 to Hernandez, fouled away at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes on Teoscar. So Shane Baz is lost because of Tommy John surgery. Shane McClanahan has had a couple of bumps over the last couple of months, but he's lined up to make the scheduled start tomorrow on the finale against the Blue Jays. And this Rays rotation is going to get a shot in the arm as well. Wednesday against the Guardians, Tyler Glasnow will make the start for Tampa Bay. Runner at first, the 0-2 pitch, up and out. Fastball missed badly on Hernandez. Teoscar 1 for 3 last night with a walk, scored a couple of times. Hit into a really big double play ball. We mentioned that when Bo was at the plate earlier. The Blue Jays have bounced into some really, really difficult twin killings on this road trip. Absolutely. In this past month, certainly. 1-2 to Hernandez. Tracks the slider low and away. And on the appeal to first, didn't go around. Four-man umpiring crew. We've already learned from Corey Blazer and Tom Hallion upon the review, checking in with New York. Phil Cuzzy's in the middle of the diamond tonight. Mark Rippinger is the first base umpire. Kirk's at first with one down. 2-2. Hit in the air out to center field. Siri drifts to his left. He'll have room in front of the warning track and make the catch. 2 away. Alejandro goes back to first. Rays' magic number is at 7. The Blue Jays' magic number is at 8. Despite being tied in the American League wild card with the Tampa Bay Rays, certainly there is some concern about the Baltimore Orioles, a team that the Blue Jays will have one more series against. The final 3 games of the regular season will be played at Oriole Park. No score, inning 2. Here's Raimel Tapia. Left-handed batter. Takes a curveball low for ball 1. Tapia last night got the start for manager John Schneider, went 2 for 4 at the plate and drove home his 50th of the season. That matches career high that he established last year with Colorado. 7 for his last 20 at the plate with 4 extra base hits. Tapia readies the 1-0. Check swing foul. Nearly picked off Whit Merrifield standing out on deck. Whit watched his life flash before his eyes. That ball went buzzing past his shoulders. That gets the blood pumping. Blue Jays batting in the second. Kirk with his leadoff single, still stuck at first. The 1-1. Tapia backs away from 95-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Blue Jays have 3 more remaining series. They'll be back at Rogers Center on Monday to open a 3-game set against the New York Yankees. They'll stay at home for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday against the Boston Red Sox. I mentioned the last 3 of the regular season against the Orioles. The 2-1. In the air out to left field. Peralta comes in slightly to his left. He's there, makes the catch, and the Blue Jays do nothing with the leadoff base hit. Midway through 2, nothing across yet at the Trop. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in full swing. Why not enjoy great
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. find top-tier tech talent fast. Just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Back at baseball control, we'll visit with Show Ali certainly later on in this ball game. David Peralta, Manuel Margot, and Miles Mastrobuoni will go 4, 5, and 6 in the Tampa Bay order. Francisco Mejia, Ji-Man Choi, and Jose Siri round out the card for Kevin Cash. One of the longer tenured managers in Major League Baseball. Currently, the longest active manager with a given team is Terry Francona in Cleveland. Kevin Cash comes from that managerial tree. They will meet up part of the final road trip of the regular year. Rays will be on the road for a 3-city road trip to finish up their season. One of those two teams might be in Cleveland for a wild card scenario. Here's a pitch by Manoah to Peralta, and his fastball missed outside. Ball 1. We talk a lot about the wild card race, and certainly because that's where the Blue Jays are. And a lot of teams out of the American League Eastern Division are battling for the wild card. 1-0. On the outside corner, good changeup, evens the count of 1-1 The New York Yankees lead the division. They're going to the postseason. They have secured a ticket to the postseason. They have a 9-game lead over the Tampa Bay Rays and the Blue Jays. 1-1 is low. In the Central Division, an 8-game cushion for the Guardians over the Chicago White Sox. The Houston Astros long ago punched their ticket to the postseason, although for 4 straight nights they've been on win number 99. 99-53. Most wins in the American League belong to the Houston Astros at 99-53. They've got a 16-game lead over the Mariners. The top 2 teams in the AL will get first-round byes, and then 3 teams out of the wild card will meet a division winner with the worst record, if that makes sense. Who's got the top 2 records? They get byes. The third best division winner right now, that shapes up to be Cleveland, will get one of the wild card contenders. 2-1. Peralta shoots it away foul off to the left. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So if the playoffs were to start today, the Blue Jays would find themselves right back here in St. Pete. Best of a 3-game scenario, played in one venue. And the Blue Jays certainly want to push all their chips into the middle to reward a fan base that has been salivating over this ball club and not really able to feast on postseason play over the last couple of years. They want to host the 2-2. Check swing up and away. Blue Jays bench yelling out, yes, he did. Tom Hallion, the veteran umpire and crew chief, said, no, he didn't. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Peralta. John Schneider was asked specifically about the pitching scenarios for the Blue Jays over the last couple of weeks. Coming out of the off day, Blue Jays had 2 plans through Philly and then here at the Trop. 3-2. Fastball's up and out. First base runner for the Rays is a leadoff walk here in the second. Blue Jays and Rays are scoreless. And I think that scenario partly was determined because of the success of the New York Yankees and that difficult extra inning loss on Wednesday in Philly, where the Blue Jays lost in extras 4-3. And then the New York Yankees came back in that dramatic fashion. Aaron Judge hit his 60th. Giancarlo Stanton defeated the Pirates with 1 swing and a walk-off grand slam. Here's a ground ball down to first. Vladdy's got it on top of the bag at first. Now a fielder's choice as they'll race after Peralta, and Vladdy applies the tag. Peralta realized that ball was handled on a bounce right next to the first base bag. Guerrero went to kick the cushion. That takes away the force out at second. Peralta powered down and said, all right, I'll just get in a rundown here for a minute. That rundown lasted 2 strides. Vladdy raced after him and turns in an unassisted double play. Quickly erasing that leadoff walk on 1 pitch. Margot retired. Now 2 down and nobody on. Manoah with the fastball misses arm side on Miles Mastrobuoni. Alek Manoah is part of that two-plan scenario for the Blue Jays, whether or not they would give him extra rest, line him up for game one of a wild card scenario, or adjust it for game 162. If the Blue Jays need Manoah for home field advantage, they will give the ball to him in the season finale. Fastball taken down and in. Mastroboni in front, 2 balls and no strikes. If Manoah throws on that Wednesday in Baltimore, Kevin Gausman will get game one in the American League wildcard matchup. Two-0. Pull to the ground, down to first. Scooped up by Guerrero right next to the line. Curls through foul territory, hits the bag. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. produces all 3 outs here in this second. Off to the third, nothing across. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This game tip is brought to you by the
Chicagoland. Build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
What would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? How about 40? Get part-time or full-time help with a virtual assistant from The Room. Trusted by entrepreneurs, executives, even busy families. The Room's virtual assistants are trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Work smarter, delegate more, and get your time back. You have a lot more programs to listen to. Visit trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
Back to the Grubhub spelling bee.
Word is enthusiastic.
Repeat in a sentence, please.
She was enthusiastic as her Grubhub order of tempura rolls looked and tasted crispy.
Enthusiastic. ENSUSHIASTIC. Enthusiastic. Woohoo!
On time, lowest price, or we'll make it right. That's the Grubhub guarantee. Terms apply. For details, visit grubhub.com/guarantee.
Looking for the right color for your walls but don't know where to start? Schedule an in-home color consultation with JC Licht, and our team of color experts will help you tell your personal color story. With the best selection of paints from Benjamin Moore, JC Licht is your one-stop shop for everything you need to transform your house into your dream home. Visit jclicht.com for a location near you.
Every year, we say we'll wake up earlier, exercise more, really rest, and eat healthier. It's hard for us, but for dogs, not so much. Dogs are up at dawn, run for fun, sleep like champs, and they love eating fresh, healthy food every single meal. Give your dog another healthy habit. Real fresh food from the Farmer's Dog. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/radio.
Hey, it's David from EOC Audio. Are you considering a new audio video system for your home? Wouldn't it be nice to see a real-life application of the latest and greatest technology? Then visit EOC Audio's all-new lifestyle showroom in Lisle. See technology in a home-like setting. Listen to some amazing Golden Ear or B&W speakers, experience an outdoor system, and take a few swings on the golf simulator. You can even check out what a TV in the shower looks like. Schedule your tour today at eocaudio.com. That's eocaudio.com.
Every year, we say we'll wake up earlier, exercise more, really rest, and eat healthier. It's hard for us, but for dogs, not so much. Dogs are up at dawn, run for fun, sleep like champs, and they love eating fresh, healthy food every single meal. Give your dog another healthy habit. Real, fresh food from the Farmer's Dog. Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/radio.
U.S. News and World Report. We care for the most serious and complicated heart conditions, including AFib cases, valve replacements, and heart transplants. Our heart specialists provide you with the tools you need to build heart-healthy habits and reduce your risk of heart disease. Loyola Medicine. Feeling is believing. Visit loyolamedicine.org/schedule now.
You're one of the lucky ones. You were born a Bears fan. Your Sunday best is always blue and orange, and Sunday dinner is always eaten around a pop tailgate. And now you're even luckier because with the Chicago Bears PNC Bank Visa debit card, you can get special discounts on certain Bears merch and concessions. Show you're a Bears fan from the gear you wear to the card you carry. PNC Bank. Passion pays. For details on discounts and other offers, visit pnc.com/BearsCard. Visa is a registered trademark of Visa International Service Association and used under license. Copyright 2021 PNC Bank National Association, member FDIC.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand bottled, taste tested, sent to a few friends, then taste tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
It's 4 on the season, starting first with the Boston Red Sox. Designated for assignment, and then 8 by the Blue Jays. Faces the shift off to the right. Takes the first pitch curveball in for a called strike 1. Rays will play Peralta, Siri, and Rosarena even in the outfield. They set up the triangle defense off to the right. Mastroboni at the top in short right field. 0-1. Fouled off to our left. No balls and 2 strikes on Jackie Bradley Jr. Blue Jays and Rays will wrap up their series tomorrow afternoon. That'll conclude a 6-game road trip for Toronto as well. We'll be on the broadcast at 1 o'clock Eastern. We'll set it up for Ross Stripling against Shane McClanahan. 0-2, pulled foul. Skips behind the heels of Mark Budzinski, the Blue Jays' first base coach. Now 2 strikes on Jackie Bradley Jr. Wander Franco, the shortstop, who started this at bat on the second base side, now has tilted himself back more towards a traditional up the middle position at the shortstop spot. The 0-2, fouled away to the left. Still no balls and 2 strikes on Jackie Bradley Jr. Top of the card, standing out on deck. The 0-2, fouled away at the plate. The battle continues between Jackie Bradley Jr. and Drew Rasmussen. 33 pitches so far to record 7 outs in this ball game. In this long battle, Jackie Bradley Jr. is the number 9 hitter. Four straight fouls, and here's a swing and a miss and a changeup. Back-to-back strikeouts. They're 2 away. George Springer will step in. Officially 0 for 1. Reach on catcher's interference back in the first. Blue Jays and Rays are scoreless. The pitch. Springer got it started, takes the fastball in tight. Ball one. Springer stares out. The pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. Popped in and out of the glove of Francisco Mejia, but the pitch crossed good enough for a called strike. And it's 1-1 strike on Springer. One. Fouled back. 1-2 strikes. Pretty good crowd on hand. Asked to make a little noise here at Tropicana Field. By far and away, this will be the best attended ball game of the three played so far. One-two. Check swing. A little dribbler out in front of the plate. Mejia hops on it, sidesteps his own catcher's mask, and throws to first to record Springer as the final out. And a 1-2-3 third. 2.5 gone by here in St. Pete. Still nothing across for the Rays and the Blue Jays. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Introducing The Post, Green Park Group's newest condo, coming soon to North Oakville. This boutique 8-story condominium is moments from the area's bustling shopping and dining district, as well as its lush urban green spaces and town trails. Built by one of Canada's top home builders, The Post is your opportunity to experience all that North Oakville's emerging city center has to offer. Register today at greenparkgroup.com.
Here at the Nissan Institute of Thrillology, we have excitement down to a science. Like the fun-to-drive 2022 Kicks with standard Apple CarPlay and best-in-class fuel economy to keep the good times going. It's recommended by 5 out of 5 Thrillologists. Now, during the Nissan Thrillology sales event, lease the Kicks from $58 weekly for only 24 months. Visit Nissan.ca or contact your local Nissan dealer today. Fuel claim excludes EV and hybrid vehicles. $252 monthly at 4.24% with $1,295 down. Limited quantities, conditions apply.
Meet Caitlin and Adrian, a just married couple that loves each other almost as much as I love windows. As a dedicated Pella window and door replacement advisor, I help guide them through our quality options and decide on the right choice for their style and budget.
Visit our newly renovated Unique Experience Centers for all your window and door needs and unique shopping experience. Toronto homeowners recommend Pella Windows more than any other window brand, based on a 2020 survey of leading window brands among homeowners.
This is where casual fans become crazy fanatics. This is Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
We're back inside the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, safe. Blue Jays, Rays, scoreless. Alec Manoah has faced the minimum so far. Now he gets Francisco Mejia, G-Man Choi, and Jose Siri. Going 7, 8, and 9. Manoah pauses for a moment, just like every in-between inning antic. Goes in between the mound and the second base bump, pauses for a moment, removes his cap, collects his thoughts, and then rips his arms apart, flexing out those big shoulders, and trots off towards the top of the hill. Manoah blows on his right hand. We'll get the intel from the PitchCom device and look in and find Francisco Mejia. Switch hitting backstop, batting left-handed. The pitch. Slider called down and in, ball one. Francisco Mejia started as a Cleveland Guardian, then went to San Diego, became a Ray when he was part of the package, returned for Blake Snell. 1-0. Down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Playing time really increased for Francisco Mejia, Christian Bethancourt, the backstops for the Rays. once Mike Zunino was lost for the season. Veteran catcher put up big numbers, and head-to-head, he was a thorn in the side of the Blue Jays. The pitch. Fastball on the inside corner, called strike, and it's 2-1 on Mejia. 5 of the 6 home runs hit left-handed. Swivels back into the left-handed batter's box. Manoah with a big nod. Now the 2-1 pitch. Hit high in the air, up the line and right. Hooking off towards the corner and foul. Lands on the tarp, like off a trampoline. It'll spring into the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Francisco Mejia. Scoreless in the third. The 2-2. Fouled off to our left. The out-of-town scoreboards are being brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. Game on, Canada. Help us celebrate 30 devilishly good years of being your Blue Jays headquarters. Join us for wings, beer, cocktails, and more. We've got all the bases covered. Download the new app or visit stlouiswings.com for more details. St. Louis Bar and Grill, always devilishly good. Blue Jays and Rays playing on this Saturday night. Lots of day baseball already on the docket, including one watch with bated breath in the Bronx. The New York Yankees hit 3 home runs, knocked off the Boston Red Sox today, but it was not the signature home run that we've been waiting on for Aaron Judge. He's still sitting on 60. 2-2, swing and a miss. Mejia goes after a high fastball. Manoah's got his second strikeout of the day. 1 down to open up the third. Yankees knock off Boston 7-5. Oswaldo Cabrera hits his 4th big league home run. Big home run totals for Gleyber Torres and Anthony Rizzo. They both went long in that win for New York. Rizzo with his 32nd, Gleyber Torres with number 24. Aaron Judge, though, making a march towards the record books, might have it in Toronto starting on Monday night. Here's Ji-Man Choi. Fastball taken from Manoah, upstairs for ball 1. 3rd ever player in American League history with 60 or more home runs. Roger Maris with 61, Babe Ruth with 60, and now Aaron Judge at 60. 1-0 is fouled back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Elsewhere on that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard in the American League. They'll be back at it tonight in Baltimore at Camden Yards. The Houston Astros looking for their first win of the series. Orioles have gotten outstanding starting pitching, first from Kyle Bradish, and then last night, continuing the shutout bid by Dean Kramer. 1-1. Slider on the inside corner, called strike. Cleveland, the leading Central Division in the American League, meet the Texas Rangers later on this evening. White Sox will host the Detroit Tigers. Blue Jay fans will be keyed in on Seattle. They're in Kansas City. Angels and Twins, the last in the AL. 1-2. Fastball's a little bit high. National League matchup. The Philadelphia Phillies have rebounded well after absolutely looking terrible against Atlanta and being swept in that 3-gamer before the Blue Jays went to town on Tuesday and Wednesday night. The Phillies have knocked off Atlanta back-to-back ball games on Thursday and Friday. Bottom of the 7th inning right now, though. It's a 6-3 advantage for Atlanta in Philly. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a fastball. Back-to-back strikeouts for Manoah. The number 9 hitter is Jose Siri. Blue Jays, Rays, no score. Manoah points over at Matt Chapman, gives him a big nod, and then says something towards the third baseman. The pitch ripped on a line past Chapman, foul. It's almost like Manoah knew what was coming. Chapman started deep at third base. Now Manoah's looking off his way. Rodney Linares, the aggressive third base coach of the Rays, now in conversation as well with Matt Chapman. How close did that feel to you? I don't know. How close did it feel to you? Close. 0-1. Fastball's upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Manoah here in the third inning, not using that 92, 93 mile an hour fastball. Those 4-seamers recently have been at 94, 95. One. Swing and a miss. Went after a 94 mile an hour heater. Couldn't get to it. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Siri. Blue Jays and Rays, no score. The 1-2, down and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sportsnet TV flashed a replay of a pregame ceremony that included Kevin Kiermaier. When Kiermaier was lost for the season, the Rays went out and they acquired Jose Siri from the Houston Astros. He'd been a target over the last couple of years. The Rays knew exactly what they were getting. And Kevin Cash has often credited Jose Siri as being one of the best true center fielders out there. Was saying a lot because he had one, the 2-2. Popped him up off the fist. In between the A and the B ring, it hovers over Alejandro Kirk and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. It's Vladdy calling and catching in front of the Rays dugout to retire Tampa Bay 1-2-3. We're going to the fourth. Still nothing across for the Rays and the Blue Jays tonight. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Ready to improve your bottom line? The Room can match you with a top financial analyst. Trusted by small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs, The Room's virtual financial analysts are highly trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Drive business growth with a virtual financial analyst from The Room. It's like listening to all the financial programs rolled into one. Get started today at trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
First pitch drilled out to deep left field, and it is gone!
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
This fourth inning is being presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can bet on things like player props, totals, or money lines across many different sports. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Blue Jays and Rays scoreless under the big top at the Trop. Here comes Bo Bichette. Bo is absolutely sizzling this September. Rasmussen's first pitch, a little bit high. Check swing by Bo, didn't go around. Nice to see Bo back in the batter's box as well tonight after taking an awkward swing last night. Well, he took a vicious hack, and that was a byproduct of an earlier take in the same at-bat late last night in the Blue Jays setback. The 1-0, fouled away to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike. Bo took a big swing, came away, reaching back above his right hip into that oblique area. Talked with the trainer, talked with his manager during that at-bat. Stayed in the ball game, and then the lineup went out last night that included Bo. They're pretty confident that he would be back on the card today, and he checked out very healthy. All systems go for Bo, and that's good news. 1-1 on the outside corner, called strike at 96 miles an hour. Bo thought it was a little wide. He's had a really good eye, and the numbers prove it. In the month of September, he leads Major League Baseball in hits, extra base hits, RBI production, and overall total bases. One, two. Strike 3 called at the knees on the inside corner. Bo didn't like that at all. He goes down looking. Blue Jays and Rays, no score. Top of the 4th inning with 1 out. Well, we need to say a special hello this afternoon and early evening to those of you in the Maritimes. Hurricane Fiona arrived on the shores, hitting Atlantic Canada with a big dose of fury. Those with losses, dealing with the damage, seeking shelter, we are thinking about all of you in the Maritimes here tonight. Watch the floodwaters rise, roads get washed out, massive power outages, and a lot of damage in Atlantic Canada. And we're keeping those of you that are getting Blue Jays baseball on your radio or however you're watching or listening to it tonight. You are very much in our thoughts over the last couple of days, and certainly with Fiona arriving and making landfall this afternoon. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. takes a first pitch strike, and a slider from Rasmussen's down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Those thoughts hitting really close to home with a couple of the Blue Jays beat members as well that are here in St. Petersburg. 1-1. Check swing. Did Vladdy go? He did. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Keegan Matheson calls Nova Scotia home. Rob Longley. Well, Keegan Matheson from MLB.com. Post Media's Rob Longley is here. His mother lives in PEI. And Arash Badani as well is from the Maritimes. So, of course, this news and concern hitting very close to home in our traveling family on the road covering Blue Jays baseball. 1-2. Vladdy bounces it towards short. Backhand pickup by Franco from the outfield turf. On to first in time. Rangy play by Wander Franco, hustling to his right, lining up the footwork, making the backhanded play, and a strong throw to first. 2 down. Alejandro Kirk will be the batter. Rays and Blue Jays, no score. Kirk has the lone base hit for Toronto tonight. Rasmussen to work. Curveball's low, ball 1. Kirk's back behind the plate, catching for the second time this week after not going behind the plate because of a sore left hip for 8 days. 1-0. Ground ball up the middle. Waiting on it at second, Mastroboni, the rookie. Sidearm toss to first in time. Blue Jays retired 1-2-3 here in the 4th. 3.5 gone by. Still zeros in the run column here at Tropicana Field. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Make your next
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
What would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? How about 40? Get part-time or full-time help with a virtual assistant from The Room. Trusted by entrepreneurs, executives, even busy families. The Room's virtual assistants are trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Work smarter, delegate more, and get your time back. You have a lot more programs to listen to. Visit trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
Clemens and Dave Steve for the best earned run averages in a given season. If you include the 3 scoreless today, a 2.36 earned run average for Alek Manoah. It has been a remarkable sophomore campaign for him. It's been an incredible career. Called to the big leagues last May. Dominant down the stretch for the Blue Jays. When the games meant the most, Manoah was at his best. And that still rings true. He has had a huge September for Toronto. And the Blue Jays have needed him. They need him again today. Offense not producing, though. We're scoreless as we open the 4th inning. First pitch from Manoah. Outside corner, strike 1 on Aranda. 4 September starts. A 129 earned run average. Opponents just hitting 172 off the right-hander. Those rank 2nd in the American League. 0-1. Check swing. Aranda lays off. Blue Jays will ask for the appeal. Didn't go around. Manoah has faced 9, and he's also faced the minimum. They should a leadoff walk in the 2nd, but then the very next pitch, Manuel Margot chopped down to Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who got an unassisted double play. 1-1. Fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Vladdy all by himself got all 3 outs, though. Not an unassisted triple play, but he got all 3 outs. The double play hopped down to him, and then he tracked down David Peralta in the baseline. And then Miles Mastrobone chopped one down to first base. And Vladdy turned it into the final out. And 2 of the 3 strikeouts for the right-hander. Posted into 1-2-3 third. The first strikeout of the ball game when he caught Aranda looking. The 1-2 to Aranda. Strike 3 called. Fastball on the inside corner. Strikeout number 4 for Manoah. 1 down here in the 4th. We're coming to you tonight from the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth in the 200 level right behind home plate at Tropicana Field. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Infield back, with the exception of Chapman playing even with the third base bag as Wander Franco bats. Switch hitter on the left side takes a fastball and misses high and away. Ball 1. One-0 from the right-hander. Darts across. Good slider from Manoah. Big-time usage on the 4-seamer and the 2-seamer today. Second time through the order for the Rays. They might see the bigger dose of the sliders now coming his way. 1-1 to Franco. Pulled to Vladdy at first. In between the wickets, he'll pick it up, jog it over to first base. Another ground out induced by Manoah. 2 up and 2 down. Randy Arozarena to the plate. Well, Super September continues for the Toronto Blue Jays, and it'll be even better for one lucky Blue Jay fan when the Jays Care Super September 50-50 jackpot will close out at a major league record. I imagine by this time next week, we'll be talking about a $3 million jackpot. First pitch slider on Randy Arozarena at strike one. Blue Jays are at home next week. Of course, the jackpot will get a huge bump with the big crowds expected against the New York Yankees and against the Boston Red Sox. The 0-1, swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. So you don't want to miss out. Get a chance to take home the biggest jackpot in Major League Baseball history and early bird prizes that will continue to be awarded throughout the week. Get your tickets anywhere in Ontario. Go to bluejays.com/5050. 0-2, inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's bluejays.com/5050. No score, last of the fourth. Nobody on. The 1-2. On a line to left center field. That's down for a base hit. It'll take one hop and go all the way to the wall. Arozarena pedaling those bright yellow shoes into second base. The first hit against Manoah is a double for Randy Arozarena. Plugs the gap in left center field. A 2-out double. I'll bring in David Peralta. Until the double by Arozarena, Peralta had been the only man to reach against Manoah tonight. With the leadoff walk back in the second. Quickly erased on a double play ball. Pitch to Peralta. That's outside, ball 1. First 9 years in the major leagues for Peralta, spent as a Diamondback. Then he became a Ray. Went 2 for 5 with a double, drove home 2 runs and a 10-run burst by the Rays on Thursday night. Didn't get the call last night. And he starts again today. Shoots it away foul up the left field line. 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-handed batter, stares out at Manoah. Alec bends the glove over his left chest. Gets the info from Alejandro Kirk and now peels it away. Reaches in, gets the ball out of the pocket and deals. Swing and a miss at a slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. With Peralta, left-handed hitter, Jackie Bradley Jr. in center, shades him to go the opposite way. Blue Jays push Whit Merrifield a couple of big strides into the outfield turf, back from second. The 1-2. Fastball's high. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Peralta. Blue Jays have had 2 base runners, George Springer reaching on an error and a leadoff base hit by Alejandro Kirk. That's been that. 9 in a row retired after the Kirk single. Raised the first team to threaten. We're in the 4th. Two. Bounce towards that shift. Waiting on the long bounce. Merrifield has it. Long throw. Dig by Guerrero on a short hop. In time to get the out at first base. Peralta hit that ball sharply. Merrifield rushing with the speed of Peralta racing up the first baseline. They turn in the final out of the 4th inning. Arozarena stranded in scoring position. We go to the 5th with nothing across. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime. Guys, are you trying to stay in 20-year-old shape into your 30s and 40s and finding it, well, impossible? Then you need to listen to this. Beachbody, the company that revolutionized getting ripped at home with P90X and Insanity, has a brand new program just for you called Lift 4. It's part lift, it's part hit. With total body shredding results in just 30 to 40 minutes a day, right at home on the Beachbody On Demand app. That's how you get killer results as an adult. Go to beachbody.com to sign up now, and you can try Live 4 for free. That's beachbody.com.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
At the game, they stop serving after the 7th. But do they where you're listening? Do they? This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Drew Rasmussen will work on Matt Chapman, Teoscar Hernandez, and Raimel Tapia here at the top of the 5th inning. Blue Jays and Rays sit scoreless. Right-hander deals. And the first pitch on the inside corner called strike one. We get underway in the 5th, presented by Bet365. Just download the app and see for yourself why Bet365 is the world's favorite sportsbook. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. 0-1. Chapman takes a slider, and backs him up on the inside corner, and falls in the hole 0-2. Chapman looking for his first hit in this series. 0 for 7 at the drop. The 0-2. Low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sportsnet TV reminding me that Matt Chapman is using that hockey puck style bat that was designed in Louisiana. Really made its biggest splash onto the MLB scene when a couple of Cardinals picked up this style of bat. It's got a thick knob on it. 1-2. Fastball taken across the knees for strike 3. 4th strikeout for Rasmussen. 3 out of the 4 have gone down looking. Right-handers retired 10 in a row. Here's Teoscar Hernandez. 0 for 1 with a fly ball to center. Blue Jays and Rays are scoreless. Outfield deep and playing straight away. The pitch. Hernandez corks it on a line out to left field. There's Peralta. Makes a two-handed squeeze. Raimel Tapia, the batter. He's starting in left field, where he might get squeezed out in the return of Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who's back with the ball club and expected to travel north of the border when the Blue Jays head back home after tomorrow's finale against the Rays. The injury report is brought to you by Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. If life is throwing you a curveball and you're striking out with your insurance company, get ahead of the count and call Bergmanis Pereira Personal Injury Lawyers. Your cleanup hitters. Visit bplawyers.ca. Raimel Tapia's playing time has increased since Lourdes Gurriel Jr. landed on the injured list with a hamstring issue. Pitch in for a called strike. Lourdes' minimum 10 days has already evaporated, but that hamstring isn't healthy enough yet to get him back on the diamond and playing. He's taken some at-bats. He's continued to throw. Did some light running in the outfield over the player development complex in Dunedin. The 0-1. Bounce to the plate. It's been early morning workout assignments for Lourdes Gurriel Jr., and then he will spend the night over here at the Trop with his teammates, trying to get back and healthy. Hasn't played yet, hasn't run the bases yet. Originally, the Blue Jays were hopeful that a return in that New York Yankees series would be a prospect for Gurriel, but it sounds more and more over the last couple of days as the Blue Jays talk with the Toronto left fielder, and maybe the best case scenario would be that matchup against the Red Sox after the off day on Thursday. Pitch to Tapia, pulled foul, dribbling its way up the first baseline. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Rymel. Blue Jays are certainly hopeful that Lourdes Gurriel Jr. returns without missing too much time. His pacing isn't too far behind, and that timing will get back at the plate very quickly. 1-2, rolled out to second base. Mastroboni picks up the worm burner, throws it on to first. A dozen in a row retired by Drew Rasmussen. Middle of the 5th, still scoreless at the Trop. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Property.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Vladdy is streaking around the bases. He's getting the wave home, and the Blue Jays take the lead.
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
We're coming to you from the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth tonight here in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Blue Jays and the Rays go to the bottom of the 5th inning with no score. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Manuel Margot against Alek Manoah. Righty on righty, pitch. Fastball on the inside corner, bellowed out a called strike from Corey Blazer. Miles Mastroboni, then Francisco Mejia. 5, 6, and 7 in the order. The pitch. Hit high and deep up the left field line, but foul. No balls and 2 strikes on Margot. Turn back the clock night here at the Trop. The Tampa Bay Rays have once again returned to be the Devil Rays tonight. They're wearing those multiple colored uniforms with that big ray off to the right side of the uni and Devil Rays in script. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with a slider. Strikeout number 5 for Alek Manoah. I'll bring up Miles Mastroboni. They're all in on this throwback scheme as well, going all the way back to 1998. Ballpark that hosted the Tampa Bay franchise in its first year. They became the Rays in 2008. So it's been a decade being the Devil Rays. And in 2008 became the Tampa Bay Rays. Changed the color scheme around a little bit, more light blue, more yellow. Miles Mastroboni, all he knows is Rays life. His major league debut on Thursday. Takes a fastball strike from Alek Manoah, and it's 0-1. First start in the big leagues last night. Oh, 1. Slider picks the outside corner. Good backdoor roller from Alek Manoah. 0-2 the count. Manoah set for his 65th pitch of the night. 42 so far have been strikes. The 0-2. Fouled away to the left. For Mastroboni, making that first start, also it included his first 2 major league hits. First one was a flare, dropped into center field. First knock in the major leagues. Had a really good season at AAA Durham. We hit an even 300 in the minors. Hit 16 home runs while driving in 64. 6-year journey in the minor leagues that finally got a 26-year-old into a major league clubhouse. The 0-2. Ground ball towards Bichette. Waiting on it. 2-hand pickup. Shuffle step onto first in time. 2 away. Last of the 5th inning. Still no score. Alek Manoah firing a 1-hit shutout. He's trying to get through 5. Drew Rasmussen, he's retired 12 straight. Has only allowed 1 hit, going 1 over the minimum. Batter's Francisco Mejia. Shift to the right. Chapman alone on the left side of the diamond. Manoah fires. Slider fouled off at the plate. Strike 1. Quick look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Earlier today, the New York Yankees pick up a 7-5 win. They're underway in Baltimore at Camden Yards. The Houston Astros and Baltimore Orioles just getting started in this 7 o'clock hour. Currently scoreless, midway through 2. Pitch in for a called strike, and it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Hit foul. Skips past first base. No balls and 2 strikes. Alek Manoah scoreless so far through 4 2/3. He's issued 1 walk, allowed 1 hit, and he struck out 5. That gives him 300 career strikeouts. Officially pitching 300 innings. Not too shabby. 0-2. Fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes. Only Roger Clemens has had a more dominant season with an earned run average than Alek Manoah. Clemens went on to win a Cy Young Award, one of 2 that he won with the Blue Jays. The 0-2. Fouled back our way. Right over our head. No balls and 2 strikes. Francisco Mejia at the plate. More of the same for Alek Manoah. Through 29 starts, 23 quality starts. He's seen other teams more. But he has had some of his best stuff against the Tampa Bay Rays this season. 6 2/3, a 2-run ball the last time that he faced Tampa Bay. The 0-2. Liner up the right field line. That's a base hit. That'll get all the way into the corner. Mejia's around first, going to second. Teoscar picks it up off the wall. Gets it back into the diamond. A 2-out double for Francisco Mejia. Both hits against Manoah have happened with 2 outs. They both have been doubles. Now G-Man Choi, the batter. First matchup for Alek Manoah against Tampa Bay was in this ballpark when the Blue Jays were blanked 3-0. Manoah went through 6 innings, allowed 3 runs, one of which was earned. He struck out 4, didn't issue a walk, and took his first losing decision going back to August of 2021. Started the season 4-0 with the Blue Jays. First pitch to Choi, fastball high. The start of this season and going back to last year, Alek Manoah made 14 straight starts without taking a losing decision. Started 4-0 and didn't lose until his 7th trip in the rotation. Now time called at the plate by Choi. Manoah has moved to a 14-7 record. Earned run average now in the 230s. 1-0. Choi takes a fastball just outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Runner at second, shift to the right. And the 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. First hit allowed by Manoah was the 2-out double to Randy Arozarena. It took a nice play from Whit Merrifield on a ball that took a couple of quick skips in the turf by David Peralta. Merrifield stayed with it, had to make a long throw, get it there quickly. Vladdy had a nice dig on the short hop, too. 2-1. Strike on the outside corner. Pretty emphatic pivot by Corey Blazer. That sinker looked a little bit outside. They're going to rack it up in the TV truck and give us a replay. And StatCast says yes. A lot of distance from the outside corner. Manoah's benefit. That pitch swings the at-bat. Could have been 3-1 on Choi. Now 2-2 in favor of Manoah. The Puma deals. Fastball's high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Manoah peels off the red mitt, tucks it under his left arm, rubs the baseball between 2 bare hands. Now slips it back over his left hand. Stretches out the arms. Leans forward. Gives Alejandro Kirk a quick shake. And now a definitive nod. Runner at second. Choi waiting. And the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him with a fastball. Strikeout number 6. Strands Array in scoring position. And Alek Manoah clears 5 in a 2-hit shutout at the Trop. We're going to the 6th. Nothing across. With Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in full swing. Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Ready to improve your bottom line? The Room can match you with a top financial analyst. Trusted by small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs, The Room's virtual financial analysts are highly trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Drive business growth with a virtual financial analyst from The Room. It's like listening to all the financial programs rolled into one. Get started today at trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
If dog people made dog food, it definitely wouldn't look like dusty, burnt brown pebbles. Ugh. It would actually be food. It would be made with real, fresh meat and veggies, gently cooked to preserve their nutritional value. You know, like food. The Farmer's Dog was created by dog people who cook and deliver fresh, healthy food. Try the Farmer's Dog and get fresh, pre-portioned meals tailored to your dog's needs. Tell us about your dog, build your plan, and get 50% off at thefarmersdog.com/radio. That's thefarmersdog.com/radio.
Looking for the right color for your walls but don't know where to start? Schedule an in-home color consultation with JC Licht, and our team of color experts will help you tell your personal color story. With the best selection of paints from Benjamin Moore, JC Licht is your one-stop shop for everything you need to transform your house into your dream home. Visit jclicht.com for a location near you.
Travel, it'll hit the top of the wall, land in play off the 382 marker, and Whit Merrifield rolls into second base with a leadoff double. That snaps the string of a dozen in a row retired by Drew Rasmussen. Whit with his sixth extra base hit with Toronto. Got an elevated fastball, and he clubbed it to right center field. Blue Jays are threatening for the first time. Just their third base runner. Springer got aboard to lead off the ball game on catcher's interference. Alejandro Kirk had the leadoff single in the second inning, never moved. And now Whit starts at second here in the sixth. Jackie Bradley Jr., the batter. Rays think that he's going to bunt. The pitch. Fastball's outside, ball one. The third baseman, Aranda, a step on the infield turf, and G-Man Choi, the first baseman, a couple of strides in front of the bag at first base. Tell you what, if Bradley wants to bunt, he goes to the left side. Get it past the mound, he might end up with a double and drive home a run. The 1-0, fouled back towards the booth, and it lands right in front of us. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jackie's got good speed, handles the bat well. Noted for his fundamentals. Blue Jays with outstanding speed, with Whit leading away at second. Blue Jays are 5 for 19 with runners in scoring position in this series. Need one here. The 1-1. Outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runs are tough today with these right-handers dueling. Who's going to blink first? The 2-1 pitch. Fastball's inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. A win tonight for Toronto would certainly allow for an exhale. Blue Jays have dropped 3 in a row here on the road trip and 4 out of their last 5. 3-1. Up and away, ball 4. This badly with a changeup. Interesting sequence. Yes, first base open, but Jackie Bradley Jr. rarely beats you by going long. And Rasmussen looked like he pitched around the left-handed batter. And now you have to contend with George Springer. George 9 for his last 31 with 5 extra base hits. Rasmussen and Mejia in conversation out on top of the mound. We're in the 6th inning, being presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you own the world's favorite sportsbook with 63 million members worldwide. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. First and second for Toronto. Rasmussen's been very efficient tonight. Just 63 pitches, and he's been all in the zone with 45 strikes. The pitch. Fastball's high. Most erratic the Rasmussen has been when he nibbled on Jackie Bradley Jr.'s at bat and lost him on 5 pitches. Merrifield with a double. A walk to Jackie Bradley Jr. 1-0 to Springer. Check swing with a slider in for a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Springer. Springer got a board on catcher's interference, and then the catcher, Francisco Mejia, retired him on a tap out back in the 3rd. A ball and a strike. The pitch. Springer swings and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Springer, who chased out of the zone. On this throwback night at the Trop, where they're wearing the replica 1998 uniforms, the soundtrack sounds like it's coming from a high school weight room in the late 1990s. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Chase another high fastball. Springer's down on strikes. Strikeout number 5 for Rasmussen. Bo Bichette's coming to the plate. Blue Jays are looking for Bo Bichette to cash in right here. Last couple of months, he has flexed his muscles when the Blue Jays needed him the most. Rasmussen ready. Runners aboard at first and second. The right-hander throws. And the slider's outside, ball 1. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. out on deck. Bo moves into that number 2 spot. Now he's got a big one. The 1-0. Line to the right, foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runners on at first and second. Toronto trying to break through here in the 6th. The 1-1. Bichette tracks low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Good speed on for Toronto with Whit Merrifield standing at second. Jackie Bradley Jr. over at first. Bo asks for time at the plate. Drops the bat, holds it between his legs. Adjusts the Velcro on the right batting glove and then the left. Now he's back in, flexing the fingers on the bottom part of the handle. Rasmussen looks back at second. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. He was the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bo went 2 for 4 with a double on Thursday night, 2 for 4 last night with a hard line out to straightaway center field. He is as locked in at any point in his career. 0 for 2 tonight. Blue Jays threatening. And the 2-2. Ground ball down to first. Charging in, Choi's got it. Looks at second. He'll feed Rasmussen coming to first. Ball bounces out with Merrifield and Jackie Bradley Jr. advancing. Runners at second and third. And now with 2 down. Well, let's see what Vladimir Guerrero Jr. can do. It's a tough 0 for 2 for Vladdy. Bounced out to first his first time up. And then his second time up, Wander Franco made a really nice play deep in the hole at short. In the American League, third most total bases. 6th in hits, extra base hits, and 8th overall in the American League with 30 home runs. Two in scoring position if the Blue Jays can get a 2-out hit. Guerrero takes in the dirt, ball 1. Look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Checking in at Camden Yards. Jose Altuve has the Astros on the board with his 26th home run of the year. A 2-run shot in the 3rd inning. And Houston has a 2-0 lead. That's important. The Orioles, with the way that this series had gone, have drawn within 3 games of the wild card race. 1-0. Guerrero takes a slider low. 2 balls and no strikes on Vladdy. Vlad's 1 for 10 in the series against the Rays. Had a tough night last night while going 1 for 5. Did pick up an RBI, but he struck out 4 times. Runners aboard at second and third. The 2-0. Athanase, a called strike. And it's 2-1. Most of Blue Jay fans, many transplants, many vacationers this time of year, watching their club play indoors. Secured of a start time at Tropicana Field. And they know the Blue Jays will take the field down here in St. Petersburg. By far and away the best crowd, but nothing to cheer about for either side. A combined 4-hit shutout. A slider from Rasmussen. Check swing. Did Guerrero go? No, he did not. Two out and 2 in scoring position. Guerrero working the at-bat. The 3-1. Swing and a miss. Big rip at the slider by Guerrero. Came up empty. And now the count is full. Blue Jays looking for one thing to go right in this stop at the Trop. They're 3-5 here in St. Petersburg this season. They have the all-time worst winning percentage of any visitor at Tropicana Field in franchise history. The 3-2. Low and away, ball 4. Guerrero takes the free pass. The second walk issued by Rasmussen. Both have been here in this 6th inning. The bases are loaded for Alejandro Kirk. Here comes Kyle Snyder, the longtime pitching coach of Tampa Bay. Meets his right-hander on the hill. A little motion down in the bullpen for Tampa Bay, but certainly nobody really stirring around with any intent. Other matchups on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Down in the Lone Star State, Marcus Semien has the Rangers in front with a solo home run. His 24th of the year, making it 1-0 Texas over Cleveland. Harold Castro has hit his 7th home run of the year for Detroit. First inning shot, and now in the 3rd inning, Tigers lead it 2-0 over the White Sox. And Kansas City up early on Seattle. 3-2 score there. Mound visit over. Bases loaded for Kirk. The pitch. Over for a called strike. Fastball's around 94, 95 miles an hour. Cutters around 89. Bases loaded. Time called. Merrifield doubled. Jackie Bradley Jr. walked. They moved on a ground out, and then Vladdy took the unoccupied base for the 3-2 ball 4. Now the 0-1 to Kirk, low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike on Alejandro. Until the Merrifield double here in the 6th. Alejandro's leadoff single in the 2nd, the only hit for the Blue Jays. After that, Rasmussen went on to retire 12 in a row. Now the Blue Jays bat. The sacks are packed. The 1-1. Kirk takes a strike on the outside corner. One ball and 2 strikes on Alejandro. Twenty-fifth pitch for Drew Rasmussen, working here in this 6th inning. The right-hander brings it home, and Kirk drills it out of play to the right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Certainly the biggest moment of this ball game, and right now, a moment that's in the forefront for the Blue Jays in this series. Last night, the Blue Jays erased a 3-0 deficit, briefly had a 4-3 lead. Randy Arozarena in the bottom half of the frame after the Blue Jays took the lead, gave it right back with a go-ahead 3-run home run off of Anthony Bass. Blue Jays would go on to lose 10-6 last night. And want to split the series, it's got to start with a win tonight. Bases loaded, the 1-2. Ground ball towards the shortstop. Broncos got it, looks at second. He'll throw to first in time. That'll retire the side. Blue Jays got him loaded up, but Rasmussen stays strong, bending but not breaking. The shutout continues for the Blue Jays and the Rays through 5.5. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Beat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Can I be real for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better, you really can do it, but nobody is going to do it for you. And nobody has to, because you can do it if you have the right tools and a community that cares about helping you get results. And that's us, Beachbody. It's as convenient as your TV or laptop, but you need to decide that you're worth it. Let us help you succeed. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
The fever from this fan base stretches from coast to coast. The Toronto Blue Jays live here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
Bottom six, Jose Siri, Jonathan Aranda, and then Wander Franco, adding 9-1-2 against Alek Manoah, who's right now in a pitcher's duel with Drew Rasmussen. Blue Jays gave their best shot at the Ray right-hander, loading the bases, but all three left stranded on the bounce out from Alejandro Kirk. Now it's the last of the sixth. Still locked up in this scoreless affair. Blue Jays and Rays will wrap up their 4-game series and season set tomorrow. We'll join you at 1 o'clock Eastern. And then the left-hander Shane McClanahan will return to the bump. It's been a couple choppy weeks for Shane McClanahan. A little discomfort in his left shoulder and his neck area. One of the more dominant left-handers in the game. Gets the finale for the Rays against Ross Stripling tomorrow. Manoah back to work. First pitch slider, swing and a miss by Siri. Alek Manoah starts the day in the American League, 4th in earned run average, whip, and innings pitched, and 5th in opponent batting average. The 0-1, swing and a miss, another slider, and it's 0-2 on the number 9 batter. The numbers continue to get stronger and stronger for Alek Manoah. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, a 2-hit shutout so far through 5. Now make it 5 1/3. A swing and a miss by Siri. Chased a slider way outside. Punchy number 7 for Alek Manoah. Such an endearing term that gained national notoriety around Alek Manoah when he was mic'd up pitching in the All-Star game in the middle of July. A little frustrated with a hit by pitch, but he said, hey, 3 punchies, we'll take it. As he hopped off the mound, looking for friends and family up in the seats at Dodger Stadium, and then getting greeted by all of the American League's best. Back to the top of the card, Jonathan Aranda will take down and in ball 1. Blue Jays and Rays sitting scoreless. Seven strikeouts for Manoah, the most since August the 27th, when he punched out 8 Los Angeles Angels. Manoah ready. 1-0. Fouled off to the left. Most strikeouts this season posted against Los Angeles, not hosting the Angels, but in LA when he struck out 9. Twice he's fanned 8. Back in August when he fanned 8 New York Yankees, and the 8 when hosting Los Angeles, but taking a losing decision. One out, nobody on. We're in the 6th. One. Fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Aranda. 0 for 2, down looking both times against the big right-hander. So far, the difference, the man on the mound, silencing this Rays offense. They were quiet against the Houston Astros over 3 games, batting a combined 158. Scored just 2 runs while being swept by Houston. And went 1 for 20 at the plate. with runners in scoring position. 1-2. Fouled off to the left. In the first 2 games against the Blue Jays, the Rays had 21 opportunities with runners in scoring position. And on 23 hits in night number 1 and night number 2 against the Blue Jays, 10 of the 23 hits happened with a runner in scoring position. Rays against the Blue Jays through games 1 and 2 of this 4-game set, hitting a combined .333 and tallying 20 runs. 1-2, fouled off. That'll land in the second deck to our left. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One down here in the 6th. Right-hander brings it home. And a fastball just tails inside. Just missed inside. Manoah trying to lock up Jonathan Aranda and get him looking for the 3rd straight at bat. Two is low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Big gap in right center field. Hernandez a couple of strides away from the line and right. Manoah readies. And the 3-2 pitch is low, ball 4. Second walk surrendered from the right-hander. Just the 4th base runner for the Rays tonight. 2 via walks and a pair of doubles. Francisco Mejia threatened back in the 5th inning. Randy Arozarena also had a 2-out double back in the 4th. Both were stranded by Manoah. Now I'll have to see if they move Aranda on a night where certainly runs are hard to come by. Will the Rays try to generate a little traffic on the bases around the big right-hander? Wander Franco batting left-handed. Here's the pitch. That's low, ball 1. Swinging a line drive up the middle, base hit into center field. Station to station for Aranda. With 1 down, there are 2 on. Here comes Pete Walker, the pitching coach. Blue Jays, Rays, no score. We're in the 6th. Bronco stands at first base. Jonathan Aranda will drift in scoring position at second. And Randy Arozarena, who's been in the middle of literally everything, good and bad for Tampa Bay in this series, will come to the plate. He drove in 6 last night, drove in a pair in the opening game of this series when he had 3 hits. Pete Walker in conversation with Alejandro Kirk and Alek Manoah about how to handle the Ray right fielder. By the way, on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, can't go any further in tonight's broadcast without recognizing the incredible feat by the first ballot Hall of Famer, Albert Pujols, who brought everybody out of their chairs at a packed Dodger Stadium last night when he connected with career home run 699, and then later in the night delivered his career 700th home run. The list of legends is very tiny. Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, and Albert Pujols are the only 4 players in Major League history to hit 700 or more home runs. Last night, a pair for the machine. Incredible. Manoah to work. Arozarena guessing fastball, swings at a slider. Misses badly, strike one. "22-year career for Albert Pujols. He's certainly in the twilight of it. And what a major milestone and a great moment for Major League Baseball last night in one of the game's great venues. 0-1. Slider low. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the bullpen, David Phelps is up and loosening. "1-1. Arozarena with a little squibber foul, first base side. I'm looking at the replay of number 700, hit by Albert Pujols, soaring over the wall in left field at Dodger Stadium. He's trying to contain himself, but the smile speaks volumes about Albert Pujols as he was circling the bases, trying to hold back a heart that was clearly bursting. He was clenching his fists as he rounded third, saw the reaction of his teammates. A return to St. Louis, illustrious for Albert Pujols last night. And one of the game's great moves by bringing the DH to the National League and giving Albert Pujols even a chance at 700. 1-2. Manoah deals. Arozarena looks low and away. A heavy dose of sliders in this third at bat against Manoah. Arozarena is 1 for 2 in the game. He's popped to the shortstop, and then he had the double to left center field. No score in the 6th. The 2-2. Strike 3 called. Snap throw down to first. Not in time. Arozarena goes down looking. That's the 8th strikeout for Alek Manoah. Now, Randy Arozarena is hovering around the batter's box. I don't know what he's contesting other than just arguing balls and strikes. Now, Kevin Cash is on the top step of the dugout. Maybe he's just contesting about the ripcord, whether or not it was delay. I don't know. That was interesting. Strike 3 gets called, and then the throw goes down to first. Well, that's a strike all the way. Got him with a fastball. After all those sliders, a fastball zips over, and the Blue Jays try for the quick double play to get out of this jam. Well, they're 1 out closer. Here's the pitch to Peralta. Fastball's up and away, ball 1. Runners on at first and second. Rays and Blue Jays sitting scoreless. Manoah delivers. Fly ball out to center. Jackie Bradley Jr. drifts to his right. In the gap. He's there, makes the catch to retire the side. How about Alek Manoah? 7 straight quality starts. His 24th of the season. Tonight, it's a shutout of the Tampa Bay Rays on 3 hits. Through 6 frames. This game is scoreless going to the 7th. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This game tip is brought to you by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks.
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime.
Can I be real for a second? That goal you have to exercise and eat better, you really can do it, but nobody is going to do it for you. And nobody has to, because you can do it if you have the right tools and a community that cares about helping you get results. And that's us, Beachbody. It's as convenient as your TV or laptop, but you need to decide that you're worth it. Let us help you succeed. Here's how. Go to beachbody.com to claim your free membership and start feeling great.
What would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? How about 40? Get part-time or full-time help with a virtual assistant from The Room. Trusted by entrepreneurs, executives, even busy families. The Room's virtual assistants are trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Work smarter, delegate more, and get your time back. You have a lot more programs to listen to. Visit trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
This one was worth the price of admission tonight. A combined 5-hit shutout between two great right-handers in the game. Drew Rasmussen will continue to work against the Blue Jays. Matt Chapman takes the first pitch. Strike one. Alek Manoah has been phenomenal. Phenomenal again. More and more of the same from Alek Manoah. 24th quality start this season and 30 trips to the mound. The 0-1. Inside on Chapman. 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Jays need to get the Pumas some runs. Chapman, Hernandez, and Tapia batting here in the 7th. Chapman's 0 for 2. He's popped to third and struck out. 1-1. Swinging a line drive out to left field. Peralta gauges it with room in front of the track. Makes the catch. Action in the bullpen. A lefty and Brooks Raley starting to loosen. Raimel Tapia and Jackie Bradley Jr. looming on the left side of the plate. A pitch count that's climbing for Rasmussen as well. 86 pitches, 59 strikes tonight against the Blue Jays. Got in a little hot water back in the 6th. Blue Jays left him loaded. Now he's in the 7th trying to keep the shutout. First pitch, fastball buried in the dirt. Ball 1 on Teoscar. Hernandez is 0 for 2. Retired through the air to center and then lined out to left his last time up. 6 for 18 with 4 extra base hits on the road trip. The 1-0. Swinging a line drive into left field. Peralta races to his right. He can't get it. That ball will skip by him. Hernandez cuts the bag at first, races to second. He stands with a 1-out double. And the Blue Jays are threatening for a second consecutive at bat. Double number 32 on the year for Hernandez. And here comes Kevin Cash. A jog out to the mound as Rasmussen examines the baseball. Looks out of the corner of his eye at his skipper. Doesn't really like being lifted. But with Raimel Tapia coming up, the Rays want to go lefty on lefty. We've got our first pitching change of the night. It's being brought to you by Certainty, the pro's choice for roofing, siding, drywall, insulation, and ceiling systems. Certainty, pro, all the way. Blue Jays are threatening here in the 7th inning. A runner at second with 1 out. And while we've got a pitching change, we also need to go back to baseball control and say good evening to Show Ali.
Good evening, Ben. Why don't we start tonight by checking in directly on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. You talked about it earlier. I wanted to start by looking back on a big home run last night. Of course, Albert Pujols clobbering his 700th career home run. Let's hear the radio call of a piece of MLB history.
The 1-1 pitch. A swing, and there it goes! Left field, way back! That's home run number 700! Pujols hits a 3-run homer, and he hit 699 and 700 at Dodger Stadium on September 23rd, 2022. 8:23 p.m. Pacific time.
Every Cardinal is out of the dugout congratulating Albert Pujols. The Dodgers are on the top step clapping for their former teammate and friend who they honored before the game today. Everybody in the ballpark is standing. What a great moment, a Hollywood moment here in LA.
That's the call from the Cards Radio Network. Really cool that not only Pujols becomes the 4th player ever to hit the 700 home run plateau, but that he also did it at Dodger Stadium, a place he is, of course, very familiar with. Also where he hit career home run number 100. Time really is a flat circle. On today's St. Louis Bar and Grill Edison scoreboard, Astros at Orioles, Houston now leading 3-2. Jose Altuve smashing a 2-run bomb. Mariners at Royals, KC leading 4-2. Vinny Pasquantino launching a 2-run bomb off Logan Gilbert. That's the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to Blue Jays baseball, served up by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Brooke Raley on the mound for the Rays. Back to the Trop we go. Here's Ben Wagner with the call.
All right, thanks so much, Sean. You heard that great call by John Rooney on the flagship station of the St. Louis Cardinals, the mighty KMOX, longtime flagship of St. Louis Cardinals baseball, and one of the game's great moments on a great radio station and a great call by our friend John Rooney at Chavez Ravine last night. Baseball has two unbelievable things happening with Aaron Judge and Albert Pujols right now in the game. Judge sitting on 60, and, of course, Albert Pujols now with 700 career home runs. The lefty Brooks Raley will face Danny Jansen. Raimel Tapia drawn back. Jano takes strike one from the left-handed reliever. Runner at second base for Toronto. The pitch, a swing and a miss by Jansen, and it's 0-2. Jano in the lineup last night went 1 for 3. He's been red hot, and an easy decision for John Schneider to pinch hit Tapia for the right-hander. Danny Jansen, over the last 13 games, a .390 average with 7 extra base hits. The pitch, slider, just called low. A big break for Jansen. That was good enough to get called strike 3. He takes ball 1 in the at-bat. Time called at the plate. "13 homers this season for Danny Jansen. Runner at second. The pitch. A little bit high. Really missed with a cutter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. No score in the 7th. Blue Jays threatening again. They had him loaded. Couldn't get a decisive knock against Drew Rasmussen. The 2-2, way outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Book isn't closed. The double by Hernandez still belonging to Rasmussen. He was author of a tremendous season for Tampa Bay, with his 10 victories, lowering his .292 earned run average against the Blue Jays with 6 1/3 of shutouts so far. 3-2, pulled towards third, foul. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rasmussen through 6 1/3, down to .278 on his season earned run average. Alek Manoah going through a 3-hit shutout over his 6, shaving his ERA down to .233. That's one of the best ERAs in franchise history. Runner at second. The 3-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Jansen works the walk. And with Danny Jansen jogging up the first baseline, he's going to go stride for stride and get replaced by Bradley Zimmer. That also will solve the outfield puzzle. Zimmer will go and play the outfield. JT Chagua, who opened this series on Thursday night, is now loosening in the bullpen. Runners on at first and second. The pitch. Whit Merrifield clubs it. Deep left field. Peralta back at the wall. It's gone! What a hit by Whit! A go-ahead 3-run homer here in the 7th inning. The lefty's very first pitch to Merrifield. His 3rd home run of the series. It's a no-doubter to the seats in left field, and the Blue Jays have the game's first runs on a round tripper by Whit Merrifield, and it's 3-0 Toronto. What a road trip for Whit Merrifield. 2 homers on Thursday night, and he runs into a massive long one for the Blue Jays here in the 7th inning. Finally, the Blue Jays erase some of this tropical depression that they've experienced here in St. Petersburg. All smiles in that third base dugout. Jackie Bradley Jr. at the plate, swings and fouls the pitch back. 1 ball and 1 strike on JBJ. A double by Hernandez. Danny Jansen takes the walk. Bradley Zimmer on at first base. And then Whit Merrifield leans on the first pitch from Brooks Raley, and he takes it out of the park. 3-0 Toronto here in the 7th. Bradley takes a strike, and it's 1-2. One, two. Fouled back. Three nothing Toronto here in the 7th inning. The 1-2 fouled away. One ball and 2 strikes. Line is closed on Drew Rasmussen, who now sits firmly on the hook. Go ahead run, the first of the 3 plated on the homer by Merrifield. 6 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. Bradley hooks one in the air, up the line and right. Underneath it, Mastroboni angling back from second, and there are 2 down. Rasmussen threw 88 pitches tonight, 60 strikes. Alec Manoah sitting at 98. 65 strikes for him. And now in line to pick up a W. Could be his 15th win if the Blue Jays hold on. Hold on a second. Here comes Kevin Cash. He's going to lift his lefty. And we've got another pitching change brought to you by Certainteed. Certainteed Pro all the way. George Springer is coming up while we go back to baseball control and find Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. This pitching change brought to you by Certainteed Pro all the way. Before we get to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, some audio to listen to. Matt Chapman speaking to the media last night. He's always a pretty good speaker, but here he is on how you flush tough losses. So here's Chapman managing tough losses late in the season.
It's hard, every day to try to, not dwell too much on, what happened, what you could have done better. And, but, at this time of year, it's like, everybody's, burnt a little bit. Everybody's been, grinding for a long time. So, it's to be the best player and best teammate you can be tomorrow is just to flush it and just, let it go. Everybody's tired and it's not going to do you any good trying to figure out why this happened or why, you got pitched a certain way or why you didn't make a play you should have made. And obviously, there's a couple plays tonight that I wish I would have made. And, I'm pretty good at kicking myself for that, but I know that, it doesn't matter anymore. And as much as I want to be like, oh, what should I do differently? It's like, hey, tomorrow, I'm going to get another opportunity to make a play for this team and help us win a game. So that's what I'm focused on. And I know the guys are too.
I always enjoy hearing the measured perspective of Chapman. Blue Jays third baseman Matt Chapman speaking to the media after last night's ball game. On tonight's St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, the Yankees already wrapping up one today. They held on for a 7-5 win over the Red Sox in New York. Anthony Rizzo hitting a 2-run bomb for the game-winning score in the 7th. Gleyber Torres, Oswaldo Cabrera also going yard for the Yankees. Aaron Judge remaining homerless for the 4th straight game. And if he doesn't get one tomorrow against the Red Sox, the 3-game series for the Yankees on Monday starts here in Toronto at the Rogers Center. That's a quick check of the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. You're listening to Blue Jays baseball, served up by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Back to the Trop we go in Florida. Here's our very own Ben Wagner with the call.
All right, thanks so much, Joe. The Blue Jays have a 3-0 lead, courtesy of Whit Merrifield and his 4th Toronto Blue Jay home run. 3 of the 4 in this series had a 2-homer night on Thursday, and his 3rd home run here at the Trop, an unbelievable drive when the Blue Jays needed him the most. He breaks a scoreless tie. Now it's 3-0 Toronto as Calvin Fauché takes over. George Springer swings at the first pitch and fouls it back for strike 1. Fauché against Springer, who's 0 for 3 in the ball game. The right-hander deals. Over with the called strike. 0-2. The pitch popped up. Will it stay playable? Foul ground. Choi in front of his teammates makes the catch. Springer retired. The Blue Jays are done here in the top of the 7th inning. And no bigger swing on this road trip than the one delivered by Whit Merrifield. A 3-run home run. Blue Jays at the stretch here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Stretch it out with a 3-0 lead over the Rays. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball isn't just like us at Bears Radio. Our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Looking for the right color for your walls but don't know where to start? Schedule an in-home color consultation with JC Licht, and our team of color experts will help you tell your personal color story. With the best selection of paints from Benjamin Moore, JC Licht is your one-stop shop for everything you need to transform your house into your dream home. Visit jclicht.com for a location near you.
Big hit from Whit Merrifield. It's 3-0 on his 4th home run of the season with the Blue Jays. A go-ahead homer in the top of the 7th inning moves us now out of the stretch. And more Alek Manoah. A 3-hit shutout from the Blue Jay right-hander who looks out at a new outfield alignment. Bradley Zimmer staying in the ball game, moves to center. Jackie Bradley Jr. slides over to play right. And Teoscar Hernandez changes corners from right field to left. Anfield starts back with Manoah facing Manuel Margot, Miles Mastrobuoni, and Francisco Mejia. Here's the pitch. Popped him up on the right side. Underneath it, Merrifield or Guerrero. It's Merrifield. Margot retired on 1 pitch. That'll certainly help out the big man. 1 pitch to get 1 out as he gets ready for his 100th pitch of the night. Tim Mesa loosening in the bullpen for Toronto. Manoah straightens up. The pitch to the rookie. Fastball pumped over, strike one. .100 pitches, 67 strikes from Alek Manoah. He's trying to go through 7 frames. The 0-1. Just outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. You've got the lefty and Tim Mesa loosening up. You've got the switch hitting Francisco Mejia standing out on deck. And then the left-handed batting Ji-Man Choi. One. Swing and a smash through the right side, a base hit. 1 out base runner as Mastrobuoni picks up his 3rd hit in the major leagues. Alek Manoah, an absolute horse. 1 down here in the 7th. He's hit 190 innings. If you include his numbers last season, he only threw 129 2/3. He'll take the extra rest if they build it in, but he wants the ball on the day that he's scheduled to throw, and he wants to go as deep as he humanly possibly can. The pitch, swing and a miss by Mejia. And strike one. 1 out, 1 on. Blue Jays in front, 3-0. We're in the 7th. Blue Jays have double barrel action now. Lefty Tim Mesa is good and loose. Anthony Bass still in front of the bump, just starting to loosen up. The 0-1 popped up behind the plate, and this will clear the screen. No balls at 2 strikes on the Rays catcher. First place in the American League wild card is up for grabs with the winner of this one, taking sole possession of first place. Blue Jays victory would put them 1 game in front of the Tampa Bay Rays going into the finale of this 4-game set tomorrow afternoon. Standings update is brought to you by Bet365. You can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and even make a bet while a game is still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. 0-2. Mejia takes a fastball high. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Francisco Mejia. Manoah has had a little traffic tonight. A 2-out double in the 4th inning, a 2-out double in the 5th. With 1 down, Manoah walked Jonathan Aranda, and then a base hit by Wander Franco had runners on at 1st and 2nd. But he got Randy Arozarena to go down looking at strike 3, and then got David Peralta to fly out easily in center. Threat averted. And then the Blue Jays gave him a 3-0 lead. The pitch. Ground ball into the teeth of the shift. Merrifield's got it. Looks at second. Throws to first to retire. Well, not retire. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. deked me. I was like, hold on a second. Did I lose track of the outs there? Because Vladdy came away from first sprinting, and the sprint was because third base was unoccupied. Blue Jays were in a little bit of a shift, so they wanted to make sure that Miles Mastrobuoni stayed put at second base. Two down, runner at second. Ji-Man Choi, the batter. '30th start of the season for Alek Manoah. He is gnawing through his innings here at the Trop. Looking at win number 15 on the year. The pitch by Manoah. A fastball a tad high for ball 1. Manoah ready to hit a new season high in pitches. His 108th. Swing and a miss by Choi. 1 ball and 1 strike. 108 pitches, passing the 107 against the Baltimore Orioles back on August the 16th. He's got 2 down in the 7th. One, up and out. 2 balls and 1 strike as Manoah spins here in the 7th inning. A 3-0 lead. Mesa the only one throwing with purpose right now. Anthony Bass, ready of summon. You got Jose Siri, light hitting right-handed hitter on deck, and then a little bit more of a threat with Jonathan Aranda. Manoah certainly doesn't want to even get that far. Looking to be the stopper here. The 2-1 pitch. A fastball just a little bit high, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. The 50th career start for Alek Manoah. It's remarkable what the Blue Jays have asked him to do. Can he be the stopper again? 17 of his 30 starts this year have followed a Blue Jays loss, and he's been outstanding. An ERA of 2.5. Opponents at 184. A sub-1 whip. He's been dominant tonight at Tropicana Field. The 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 3-2. Blue Jays 3, Rays nothing. Manoah pulls down the bill of his cap right over his eyebrows. He stares in. Runner at second. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled away off to the left. Pete Walker, John Schneider in conversation. Blue Jays pitching coach reaches back for the bullpen phone. Mesa twirls. Two out, a runner at second. Manoah trying to complete 7. The pitch. Little tapper. Past Manoah. Bo picks it up. It's short. Whips the throw to first. A dig by Guerrero. Holds the base to get the out and retire the side. Alek Manoah, magnificent. Firing a 4-hit shutout over 7 innings at Tropicana Field. The big Puma had it working tonight. His defense answered the bell behind him. A snow cone grab and a hold of the toe on the bag by Guerrero. Manoah fired up on the play behind him. The Blue Jays carry a 3-0 lead into the 8th. Handshakes, hugs, high fives, and pounds on the back on the effort of Alek Manoah tonight. He was magnificent once again. Blue Jays 3, Rays nothing. We're off to the 8th after this. It's Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Membership fees apply after free trial. Cancel anytime. Guys, are you trying to stay in 20-year-old shape into your 30s and 40s and finding it, well, impossible? Then you need to listen to this. Beachbody, the company that revolutionized getting ripped at home with P90X and Insanity, has a brand new program just for you called Lift 4. It's part lift, it's part hit, with total body shredding results in just 30 to 40 minutes a day, right at home on the Beachbody On Demand app. That's how you get killer results as an adult. Go to beachbody.com to sign up now, and you can try Live 4 for free. That's beachbody.com.
What would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? How about 40? Get part-time or full-time help with a virtual assistant from The Room. Trusted by entrepreneurs, executives, even busy families. The Room's virtual assistants are trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Work smarter, delegate more, and get your time back. You have a lot more programs to listen to. Visit trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
That ball is gone! Danny Jansen with a grand slam!
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
8th inning, the Blue Jays in front, 3-0. Mo Bichette will lead it off. Faucher's first pitch, cut on and missed. Mo missed the cut fastball from Faucher. That's strike one on Bichette, who started that great inning play. Right-hander deals. Bichette swings and misses. In the hole, 0-2. The ball had skipped off the top of the mound. A rangy play by Bichette. Hard to his left on the second base side, deep in the diamond. Had to make it low and quick exchange on a sidearm throw. Vladdy had quite the stretch to handle the dig. And the Rays likely would have reviewed that play, but because they lost their challenge 4 pitches into the game, remember that? 4 pitches into the game, they could not review it. Weak ground ball out to second from Bichette. As Scarboni retires Bo. One down here in the 8th. It was a snow cone grab by Vladimir Guerrero Jr., a long stretch into the splits. He kept the toe tucked underneath the back. Great defensive play, helping Manoah complete a 4-hit shutout over 7 sparkling frames. There is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That tandem defensively now bats in the 8th. Vladdy takes a cutter on the outside corner, called strike one. Oh, 1. Checks the swing, takes a fastball at 95 on the outside corner. 0-2. We're asking 22,000 to make noise. The 0-2. Fouled back. Good rip by Guerrero. No balls and 2 strikes. This ball game turned on one big swing by Whit Merrifield. His 3-run home run. The only scoring so far. 3-0 Blue Jays. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Guerrero's down on strikes. 2 away. One thing of note for Whit Merrifield, who spent all those years in the big leagues traveling here only one time. He has really solid numbers at Tropicana Field. He's got 3 homers in this series. And in 16 games played against the Rays here in St. Pete, 6 home runs. 6 home runs in this facility alone. He's got 72 in every other spot on the planet. Alejandro Kirk takes a called strike. Blue Jays batting in the 8th. 2 out, nobody on. Kirk's 1 for 3. Oh, 1. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike on Alejandro. Blue Jays have 14 wins in the month of September. That's 3rd most in the American League. Trying to get back on track with this little 3-game slide. 1-1. Watch out. That's right underneath his chin. Tumbling out of the way of that fastball that slipped out of the hand of Faucher. That's a tough pitch for Alejandro Kirk, and you're always worried if he re-aggravates that little hip injury that he's been battling the last couple of weeks. 2-1. Over for a called strike. Largest crowd so far, but 3 played, 22,000. 169. Back-to-back tallies of 20-plus. Pitch in the dirt by Fauché. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Kirk. It was a very light crowd on Thursday night, but certainly rebounding on Friday. Pumped up, 22,000 plus here on this Saturday. And then the finale for the Rays coming up against the Blue Jays tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock Eastern. 3-2. Kirk hits a chopper in the middle of the diamond. Franco gloves it in front of his hip. On the move, throws to first in time. Kirk retired. The Blue Jays turned aside, 1-2-3. Midway through the 8th, Blue Jays 3, Rays nothing. Tim Mays is on the mound when we come back. This Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This game tip is
just like us at Bears Radio. Our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Hey, it's David from EOC Audio. Are you considering a new audio video system for your home? Wouldn't it be nice to see a real-life application of the latest and greatest technology? Then visit EOC Audio's all-new lifestyle showroom in Lisle. See technology in a home-like setting. Listen to some amazing Golden Ear or B&W speakers, experience an outdoor system, and take a few swings on the golf simulator. You can even check out what a TV in the shower looks like. Schedule your tour today at eocaudio.com. That's eocaudio.com.
Chicagoland, build the life you want with Great Lakes Credit Union. Live life on your terms and get great rates with free checking, certificates, auto loans, mortgages, and more. When you bank with GLCU, you're banking to support your community. GLCU is in your neighborhood and giving back through volunteering, grants, and partnerships, and offering free housing and financial counseling to those who need it. Visit glcu.org for details. Federally insured by NCUA Equal Housing Lender.
And you'll want to be at Rogers Center when it gets louder than any other ballpark around the league, and the Blue Jays need you part of it. Postseason tickets will go on sale Wednesday, September the 28th, 10 a.m. Mark your calendar, put it in your phone, set the alarm, set a countdown in the kitchen. Mark your calendars right now, Wednesday, September the 28th, 10 a.m. Or visit bluejays.com/postseason for more information. Postseason tickets on sale Wednesday. Great ball game at Tropicana Field tonight. With Merrifield with a 7th-inning 3-run home run, trying to make a winner out of Alec Manoah, who fired a 4-hit shutout over the Tampa Bay Rays. Now Tim Meza comes out of the bullpen. They'll work on Jose Siri. First pitch from Meza is a fastball over for a called strike one. This pitching change brought to you by Certainteed. Certainteed Pro all the way. Oh, 1. Sinker misses away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Quick peek at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. The Baltimore Orioles erupt for 5 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, but then give 4 right back in the 5th to the Houston Astros. Ground ball past left side of the mound. Diving stop made by Bichette. No play, though, on Siri. He runs way too well. Infield single for Siri to lead off the 8th inning. Orioles then able to square the score in the 5th. It's 6-6. Jose Altuve hit a 2-run home run early. Cedric Mullins, Anthony Santander homering for the Orioles. Santander has got his 28th of the season. Elsewhere on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, one to watch. What's going on with Kansas City hosting Seattle tonight? Royals have a 5-3 lead over the Mariners. It's a really good game to watch, especially for that third spot in the wild card. Isak Paredes is pinch hitting for Jonathan Aranda. Right-handed batter with 20 home runs. That's tied for the club lead. Randy Arozarena. 1-0. Over for a called strike. Paredes went 1 for 2 with a walk-on Friday night. A couple of seasons with the Tigers. And in 100 ball games with the Rays. Out of the starting lineup tonight. This bat, we knew it would try to make an impact. The 1-1. Hit in the air out to left. Backing up Teoscar Hernandez. Heels in front of the track. Makes the catch. One down here in the 8th. Blue Jays 3. Rays nothing. We're coming to you tonight from the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown. Protect, maintain, save. JT Chagua, Christopher Agondo loosening in the bullpen for the Rays. Here's the pitch. And it's tapped off into the glove for strike 1 by Wander Franco. Jordan Romano is loosening in the bullpen for Toronto. This is the third of the 3 that you have to face for Mesa. Fastball over for a called strike. Romano is down in the pen, throwing with purpose, likely getting ready for Randy Arozarena. Arozarena's had a massive series. The 0-2 pitch, fouled away to the right. No balls and 2 strikes on Franco. Blue Jays in the 8th, leading 3-0. Rays at the plate with 1 out and a runner at first. Franco 1 for 3 tonight. He's bounced to second and to first. He singled to load the bases back in the, not load the bases, but put runners at first and second in the 6th. 0-2. Fastball, strike 3 called on the inside corner. Franco goes down looking. And now will John Schneider emerge out of the third base dugout? Whereas Randy Arozarena, since he's not the tying or go-ahead run, will he face the lefty in Mesa? And it looks like the Blue Jays are going to ride the hot hand of the lefty. Arozarena with 20 home runs. The pitch. Just a little bit low, perhaps outside. Ball 1 on Arozarena. 3-swinger driving in 87. 6 driven in last night, including a 3-run home run. Yeah, 3 hits, driving in 2 more on Thursday. The pitch. Fastball off the outside corner, called strike. That'll help out Mesa, even the count. Blue Jays leading 3-0. A 1-1. Ground ball kicks off the top of the mound, scoots into center field, a base hit. Suri holds the bag at second. Second hit tonight for Arozarena. Went right over the laces of Tim Mesa, and they quickly went through the middle of the diamond. 2 down, and the lefty, David Peralta. A pretty good pitch. Arozarena expanded the zone. And Harold Ramirez will counter Peralta. He's announced, and here comes John Schneider to make the pitching change. He wants the righty-on-righty matchup, so they'll ask Jordan Romano to go after a 4-out save once again. He'll take the hill with runners at first and second, and the tying run with 2 outs in the batter's box when Romano appears, courtesy of Certainty. This pitching change brought to you by Certainty Pro all the way. 3-0 Blue Jays. 2-out pressure by the Rays. We go back to baseball control and find Show Ali.
Thank you very much, Ben. And before we get to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, some audio. Mike Bauman from Fangraphs is on with Blake Murphy on Friday. Of course, the hot topic of Stripling or Barrios in a playoff series has been much discussed. I think Barrios' last start probably put that to bed. But let's hear Mike chat about it with Blake Murphy on J-Stock Plus.
I think I have more confidence in Stripling than Barrios right now. I don't think that's a particularly controversial opinion. And Barrios has been, even when he's pitched well in the regular season, he's been knocked around in the playoffs before during his time with the Twins. So we know how talented a pitcher he is. I remain confident about his outlook going forward, but he just has, not a lot's gone right for him this year. So the Blue Jays, I think, isn't a novel observation. I think most teams think like this. They want to win both the games in the wild card series with Gausman and Manoah, and I think the decision to move Manoah back and maybe set him up, and this is something I talked to him about when he was up here, was that's important to get those two guys in front of the first 2 games of the wild card series. And then you go game 3, you can go Stripling, you can get a couple innings out of Barrios, you can hand it over to the bullpen, you can just pull out all the stops. And, that's a must-win game. Just do whatever you can and make it up as you go along.
That's Fangraphs' Mike Bauman on with Blake Murphy on J-Stock Plus yesterday afternoon. Ross Stripling also going to pitch tomorrow to wrap the series at the Trop. On the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Mariners at Royals, KC leading 5-3. Vinny Pasquantino launching a 2-run bomb off Logan Gilbert, and the Yankees already wrapping up their game today. They held on for a 7-5 win over the Red Sox. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, served up by the always game-ready Jack Link's Meat Snacks. Back to the Trop we go in Florida. Here's our very own Ben Wagner with the call of the game.
Jordan Romano after a multiple inning save. Blue Jays need him for 4 outs. He takes them out of the 8th inning with 2 down and runners on at first and second. An infield single off of Tim Meza from the bat of Jose Siri, and then a 2-out base hit up the middle from Randy Arozarena. Good speed on the bases. David Peralta was scheduled to come up, go lefty on lefty. Kevin Cash went to his bench for Harold Ramirez, and then John Schneider goes to his bullpen for Romano. Hard throwing right-hander looks in at Ramirez, who's had a great season here in Tampa Bay. The pitch by Romano. A little check swing, ball that bounds over the middle of the diamond. Bichette with the bare hand, a high throw over the reach of Guerrero, and it goes into the dugout. That'll allow the Rays to get on the board. Siri is in to score. Arozarena ends up at third. It'll go down as a base hit on an excuse me swing. A ball that jumped out of the turf, cleared the mound. Bichette in a do or die with the bare hand. Made a palm ball throw over the leap of Guerrero. That ball stayed in play. I wasn't sure if it went off the camera well, off the screen, or off the back of the dugout. But that ball did stay in play. So that's good news for the Blue Jays because that leaves the tying run at first base. If that ball would have went out of play, the tying run would have been in scoring position. Taylor Walls will pitch run. He is a speed merchant. And his wheels represent the tying run. A throwing error allows Siri to score. A base hit for Ramirez. Runners on the corners, 2 out. Romano deals. Manuel Margot takes a fastball strike. Blue Jays 3, Rays 1. Blue Jays bullpen has allowed 12 of the 21 runs that the Rays scored in this series. And remember, Jose Barrios only threw 2 innings in the start. Runner from first goes, swinging a foul off to the right by Margot. And it's 0-2. Jose Barrios on that start Thursday night allowed 6 runs in just 2 innings. Alek Manoah, the human extinguisher, cooled off the Rays with 7 shutouts. Struck out 8 over 113 pitches. A new season high pitch total for Manoah. Mesa started the 8th. Now Romano trying to close it out. Tying run at first with 2 out. The pitch. Fouled away at the dish. A 98-mile-an-hour fastball sheared off the handle of Margot, and that came up and it got the home plate umpire right in the chin of his mask. I might have gone off the mask and the bill of the cap, rattling the noggin. Yeah, it went, oh, that's a direct blow. And in a blow like that, you're very concerned about a brain injury. The Rays trainer out. Tom Hallion pausing the game for a moment, coming in, going through some of the baselines. Concussion protocol being executed here with the umpire and a member of the training staff. Usually it's the home team with coverage of the umpires. That's why the Rays trainer came racing out. Corey Blazer's okay, though. He slaps the trainer on the shoulder, says he's good. Gives a thumbs up to Phil Cuzzy, Mark Rippinger, the other 2 members of the crew that came in to check on the home plate umpire. Fastball on the inside that made a direct blow right on the base of the grill, the face mask of the home plate umpire. We're ready for baseball again. 2 out, runners on the corners. Runner from first goes. Swing and a miss by Margot. He's down on strikes, and he chased the ball, and he just swung the Rays out of the rally. Romano gets the big punch out in the 8th. The Blue Jays bat in the 9th with a 3-1 lead. This is Blue Jays baseball, served up by Jack Link Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
What would you do with an extra 20 hours a week? How about 40? Get part-time or full-time help with a virtual assistant from The Room. Trusted by entrepreneurs, executives, even busy families. The Room's virtual assistants are trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Work smarter, delegate more, and get your time back. You have a lot more programs to listen to. Visit trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
Looking for the right color for your walls but don't know where to start? Schedule an in-home color consultation with JC Licht, and our team of color experts will help you tell your personal color story. With the best selection of paints from Benjamin Moore, JC Licht is your one-stop shop for everything you need to transform your house into your dream home. Visit jclicht.com for a location near you.
Phil.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss. Manoah has a new career high, 11 strikeouts.
On Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
What a great ball game between these division rivals, the Tampa Bay Rays and the Toronto Blue Jays. Game 3 of this 4-game series. Shouldn't have left this one. It was a pitcher's duel all the way through. The first 6 between Drew Rasmussen and Alek Manoah. Whit Merrifield connected with a go-ahead 3-run home run in the top of the 7th inning. The Rays score on a throwing error from Bo Bichette in the bottom of the 8th. And now we go to the 9th. Christopher Agondo will make his second appearance in the major leagues. Matt Chapman will lead it off. And the pitch. Backs away from a slider. This pitching change is brought to you by Certainteed Pro all the way. (1-0). Fouled up the left field side. The pitch ripped into left field by Chapman, a base hit. Randy Arozarena will track it down and get it back in. Rays shifting 4 spots on their defensive alignment. Isak Paredes stayed in the ball game. He's at third base. He pinch hit for Jonathan Aranda. So Randy Arozarena is now in left field. Miles Masterboni replaces Arozarena in right field. Taylor Walls, who's the pinch runner, is now at second base. The pitch. And for a called strike on Teoscar Hernandez. Runner at first, nobody out in the ninth. Blue Jays 3, Rays 1. For Tampa Bay, Miles Masterboni, Francisco Mejia, and G-Man Choi. 6, 7, and 8 in the order. That'll be the ninth for Tampa Bay. Slider on the inside corner from Agondo. And it's 0-2. The pitch. Bounce towards third. Flagged by Paredes. Goes to second for one. Walls with the pivot. 2 down. 5-4-3 on the double play. Bradley Zimmer, the batter. Blue Jays in the 7th inning got a 1-out double from Teoscar Hernandez. Rays made a pitching change. Went with the lefty, Brooks Raley. Danny Jansen pinch hit for Raimel Tapia. Jano took a pivotal walk ahead of the 3-run home run by Whit Merrifield. And then Jansen was pinch run for by Bradley Zimmer. So Zimmer gets his first plate appearance. 2 out, nobody on here in the ninth. First pitch was in for a called strike. 0-1. Fastball's low. Jordan Romano in the dugout. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Romano looking for save number 35 on the year. He's got 3 more outs to get. 1-2. Down and in. Well, that nearly got Zimmer. It did get Zimmer. Well, that's a huge mistake by Agondo. Blue Jays with a 3-1 lead over the Rays. That ball hit the protective guard over the front right shin of Bradley Zimmer. So the Blue Jays net a 2-out base runner. You get Whit Merrifield, who's had a lightning series for the Blue Jays here at the Trop. 2 for 3 today. Doubled back in the 6th and made his mark here in St. Petersburg with a go-ahead 3-run home run in the 7th. Thursday night, his 3rd career multiple homer game. His first since 2019. Move towards first to chase back the speed of Zimmer. We'll be with you across the network tomorrow ahead of the first pitch at 1 o'clock Eastern. Blue Jays will look to pick up a series split if they can win tomorrow. The pitch. Merrifield backs away from a slider, takes it for a strike. Blue Jays in the 9th out of 10 assigned here at Tropicana Field. So far this year, they're 3-5. Mentioned this earlier that the Blue Jays have the worst all-time winning percentage for any visitor here at Tropicana Field, going 85-132. It's a .392 winning percentage. Doesn't matter, division foe or just part-time visitor out of the division. Another move to first by Agondo. Certainly a shot to go 500. Oh, another move to first base by Agondo. Blue Jays in front 3-1. 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. You can certainly pick out who's rooting for the Blue Jays in this situation of 22,000 and a ton of blue and white here at Tropicana Field. Zimmer's got a good lead. He stays. The pitch to Witt. Fastball's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner goes. The pitch called a strike. Here's the throw by Mejia down to second in time. Whoa! That's a game changer and something you hardly ever see. Francisco Mejia cuts down Bradley Zimmer, who had only been caught 7 times stealing in his major league career. That caught stealing after the Blue Jays take a look at it in the video replay room. Not sure. Play on. That's the call. Jordan Romano's going to go after the final 3 outs of this ball game after Zimmer got caught stealing. Blue Jays 3, Rays 1. Last of the 9th is next. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Baseball is in full swing. Why not enjoy great Pilsner?
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Ready to improve your bottom line? The Room can match you with a top financial analyst. Trusted by small businesses, startups, and entrepreneurs, The Room's virtual financial analysts are highly trained, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and matched to fit your needs. Drive business growth with a virtual financial analyst from The Room. It's like listening to all the financial programs rolled into one. Get started today at trytheroom.com. That's trytheroom.com.
Looking for the right color for your walls but don't know where to start? Schedule an in-home color consultation with JC Licht, and our team of color experts will help you tell your personal color story. With the best selection of paints from Benjamin Moore, JC Licht is your one-stop shop for everything you need to transform your house into your dream home. Visit jclicht.com for a location near you.
590 is a text line. Name and location, please. I will also throw out the numbers to call after the final out. On that St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard, Astros O's game tied at 6. Cedric Mullins going deep for the O's. Anthony Santander tying the game with a solo home run. Mariners at Royals, that game tied at 5. Vinny Pasquantino going deep for KC, but Cal Raleigh tying the game for Seattle with a 444-foot bomb. That ball looked like it was never coming down. All right, let's get you back down to Tropicana Field in Florida. Jordan Romano on the mound for the 9th inning. Here's Ben Wagner with the call of the game.
All right, thanks so much, Joe. 3-1 Blue Jays. Jordan Romano was summoned to get the final out of the 8th inning. Now he's going to look for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here in the 9th. Miles Mastroboni will lead it off. Rookie left-handed hitter, playing in his 3rd ever big league game. Takes outside, that's ball 1. Romano looking at save number 35. 2nd most in the American League. The 1-0. Slider over for a called strike 1. Emmanuel Clase is the big league leader with 38 saves for the Cleveland Guardians. Kenley Jansen of Atlanta has 37, and then Josh Hader, who split time in the senior circuit, with 34. The pitch fouled back. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mastroboni. Romano peers in. Shift off to the right for the left-handed batter. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. 99 miles an hour on the in-stadium gun. Mastroboni examines the lumber. He's out number 1 in the 9th. We're coming to you tonight from the Crown Rust Protection broadcast booth. Protect your vehicle with Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Book your appointment today. Crown, protect, maintain, save. Christian Bethencourt will pinch hit for Francisco Mejia. Blue Jays leading by a pair. 1 down in the 9th with nobody on. The pitch, swing and a miss. He really opened up on the slider. Romano pinpoint on the inside corner with that one. The pitch, swing and a miss. Couldn't reach the fastball. More stuff right on top of the knuckles of Bethencourt. First, the slider on the wrinkle. That fooled him. And then 98 miles an hour right at the hands from Romano. 1 out, nobody on. Blue Jays in front 3-1, looking for their second win on the road trip. The 0-2. Fastball is very high. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bethencourt. Bethencourt went behind the plate last night. Went 1 for 3 with an RBI double and a sacrifice fly. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him with the heat. Back-to-back strikeouts for Romano, and he's fanned 3 straight since taking over. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball and Sportsnet Radio Network. Blue Jays looking for the final out. They'll take a massive step trying to even up this series tomorrow. The pitch. Slider on the outside corner to G-Man Choi. Strike 1. G-Man 0 for 3. Shift off to the right for the left-handed batter. The pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. And it's 0-2. Blue Jay fans are rising out of their seats. They've loved what they've seen today from Toronto. Alek Manoah was absolutely brilliant again. 7 shutout frames. He struck out 8. A new season high in pitches. Whit Merrifield delivered a 3-run homer. Now Romano's 0-2. Fastball outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes on G-Man Choi. Came to the big leagues with the Angels. Spent a year with the Yankees. 2018 with Milwaukee. That was 5th season in Tampa Bay. The 1-2. Slider's just outside. Romano tried the back door. That's just the 4th of 17 pitches that Romano hasn't thrown a strike. The pitch. Fastball's up. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Choi. Jose Siri out on deck. Shift to the right. The 3-2 pitch. Hit high in the air up the right field line, and that goes off the roof in foul territory. And I don't know if it came down. The ball is into the trop abyss. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stares high into the ceiling that has swallowed many. Romano set for another 3-2. He brings it to the plate, and it's fouled back. Blue Jays 3, Rays 1. 2 out, nobody on. Another payoff pitch heading to G-Man Choi. Exhale by Romano. Now the pitch. In the air. Out to shallow right. Underneath it, Zimmer and Bradley. Bradley makes the catch to finish the ball game. What a night for the Toronto Blue Jays. Alec Manoah shuts down the Tampa Bay Rays. Whit Merrifield delivers his third home run of the series, a 3-run shot. The Blue Jays get a 4-out save from Jordan Romano, his 35th of the season, and the Blue Jays pick up their first win of this set, and they reclaim the top spot in the American League wildcard race. First place in the American League wildcard is the Toronto Blue Jays. Great ball game overall from start to finish. Drew Rasmussen and Alec Manoah went head-to-head. It was great until Whit connected when the Blue Jays needed their biggest hit of the day, and it was delivered by Whit, who had 2 hits today with a double and a 3-run home run. That's enough for a win for the Toronto Blue Jays. And now a win to tomorrow would split this 4-game series. We'll have you covered across the network at 1 o'clock Eastern. Shane McClanahan, the big left-hander with a dozen wins and a .236 earned run average, will meet Ross Stripling, who's 8-4 with a .321 earned run average. That's the pitching matchup, but we'll talk more about today's outstanding ball game when we come back. We'll take you through the totals, have our play of the game, and then get you ready with Show Ali standing by with Blue Jays talk coming up in just a couple of moments. Your final score here at Tropicana Field, the Toronto Blue Jays 3 and the Tampa Bay Rays 1. This is Blue Jays baseball served up by Jack Link's Meat Snacks on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome to Wagner Field.
Just like us at Bears Radio, our friends at Office Revolution really get the game. They furnished a global sports marketing agency in Fulton Market that won Crane's coolest offices. They know work is not just about conference rooms. This space has leather couches, bar stools by the tap, and even stadium seating for brainstorming great plays. Office Revolution knows your office represents your culture, brand, and should be a space where the team wants to work. Visit office-revolution.com to see what they can do.
Looking for cloud, data, or web help? There's no tech shortage in the room. The Room is a talent community offering highly skilled, ready-to-work talent when you need it. The Room's tech talent is trained to Silicon Valley standards, vetted through a rigorous data-driven process, and individually matched to fit your needs. Find top-tier tech talent fast, just like the kind of people who developed this cool streaming app you're on right now. Visit trytheroom.com/tech.
Toronto Blue Jays, they snapped their 3-game slide. They retained sole possession of first place in the American League wildcard race on a big swing by Whit Merrifield and an outstanding pitching performance from Alec Manoah to Tim Meza, and then the 4-out save, the 35th of the season from Jordan Romano, turning in a winning edition of Blue Jays baseball here tonight at Tropicana Field. Then Wagner to take you through the totals as the Blue Jays net the victory, now 85-67 on the year. The Rays, with the loss, slip a game behind in the wild card race from the Blue Jays at 84-68. Blue Jays, 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. At the plate today, the Blue Jays strand 4 and go 1 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Tampa Bay, 1 run, 7 hits, and 1 error. At the plate, 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position, 7 men left on base. Alec Manoah goes 7 frames of a 4-hit shutout. He strikes out 8, walks a pair, and picks up his 15th win of the season. The big man has made 30 starts for the Blue Jays. He's won half of them. And this season alone, Alec Manoah has twirled 24 quality starts. 3 earned runs or less, 6 or more innings. And the big man answered the bell when he needed him to be a stopper tonight. Manoah now 15-7 on the year. Drew Rasmussen takes the loss despite pitching into the 7th inning. 6 1/3, a 1-run work on 3 hits. Rasmussen now 10-7. Manoah the win. He's 15-7, and a 4-out save for Jordan Romano, his 35th of the year. Blue Jays pick up a 3-1 win over the Tampa Bay Rays. It's time now for our play of the game. It's being presented by Bet365, where you can bet on things like player props, totals, or money lines across many different sports. Bet365, 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. A lot of action in this one from the mound. Big plays defensively, big pitches made by Drew Rasmussen and Alek Manoah. And it was a bend but don't break mentality for Alek Manoah, who left runners in scoring position in the 4th, the 5th, and in the 6th inning. Then in the 7th, he got a massive defensive play by 2 players on a ball that was dribbling in the middle of the diamond with a runner at second base. G-Man Choi thrown out on a heady play by Bo Bichette, staying low and delivering a long stretch by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That capped off maybe the moment that the Rays had an opportunity to pick up their lone run of this ball game. But with Whit Merrifield scheduled to bat in the 7th, Teoscar Hernandez had a 1-out double, then Danny Jansen a pivotal walk off of Drew Rasmussen, and then Whit Merrifield came to the plate in this scoreless tie. Runners on at first and second. The pitch. Whit Merrifield clubs it. Deep left field. Peralta back at the wall. It's gone! What a hit by Whit! A go-ahead 3-run homer here in the 7th inning. The lefty's very first pitch to Merrifield. His 3rd home run of the series. It's a no-doubter to the seats in left field, and the Blue Jays have the game's first runs on a round tripper by Whit Merrifield, and it's 3-0 Toronto. 3-0 Toronto. The Rays would pick up 1 run in the 8th on a throwing error, unearned for Tim Meza. And then we're breathing easy with Jordan Romano going to the mound. He allowed the base hit to Harold Ramirez on the infield. That was a little bounding ball through the turf. Then he struck out Manuel Margot, Miles Mastroboni, Christian Bethencourt, G-Man Choi with a lazy fly ball over to right field. Jackie Bradley Jr. secured it under the roof here at the Trop, and the Blue Jays had a 3-1 win over the Tampa Bay Rays. They look to pick up a series split with Game 4 tomorrow. We'll join you across the network at 1 o'clock Eastern here in St. Petersburg, Florida. Ross Stripling against Shane McClanahan. That does it for this quarter of the broadcast. For Jason Behringer and Tom Young, I'm Ben Wagner. Now it's time for Jays Talk, unfolding from Baseball Control in downtown Toronto, where we will talk to you next time here from St. Pete tomorrow afternoon on Sunday to wrap up the road trip before a massive homestand for the Blue Jays hosting the New York Yankees and the Boston Red Sox coming up as well. That does it for our broadcast here at Tropicana Field. Your final score, the Blue Jays 3 and the Rays 1. Have a great night. Now it's time for Blue Jays Talk with Show Ali.
Well, on nights like tonight, we have to start by simply saying Alek Manoah is special. He's special. It's not a hot take. You know it. I know it. The Jays know it. He is something else. He makes scoreless innings, runners on sometimes. He makes them look completely routine. It is so much so that I almost expect, and I have a feeling many people are the same way, I almost expect Manoah to go a minimum of 6 innings every time he hits the mound. And I have high hopes every time out, too, that we'll see him get through 7, which we got tonight. Manoah has been so good. The expectations are so high, and yet he pretty consistently manages to meet them. Like, get this. Prior to tonight, they flashed this stat, I think, on the telecast. Prior to tonight, Manoah entered the ball game with a 1.32 ERA, 0.172 opponent's batting average, 0.90 WHIP over his last 6 starts, which is wild stuff to begin with. And I got to think that those numbers might be dropping slightly after a start like tonight. He is the unquestioned ace of the rotation, the stopper, which is something we have talked about a lot. When you have a little mini slide going on, no better person to come to the mound than your ace, your stopper. He is a treat to watch. I said this about Stripling, and I think it remains true about Manoah. I shudder to think what we would discuss about the Jays season and what it would look like without Alek Manoah, right? Like, you could absolutely say that. Like, what would any team's season look like without the Rays? 100%. Don't get me wrong. But without Manoah, this team is not where they are right now. That's not a particularly hot take. It's a lukewarm take at best. He just is a treat to watch on a regular basis. I don't know about you guys. I was honestly shocked when he came back out for the 7th inning at 98 pitches. That was shocking to me because we know the Jays are pretty careful to manage workloads. He even let a batter get on. They still left him out there. I kind of thought it'd be one of those things. Any one guy gets on, we're pulling the ripcord, but Vladdy makes a terrific grab to end the 7th. Magnificent killer instinct type of stuff from Alek Manoah tonight. The final line, 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs, of course, no runs at all, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, and a season high 113 pitches, 75 of them strikes, his 7th straight quality start, his 24th quality start in 30 trips to the mound this season. It's just, there's no way you can look at anything he has done this year and say, that's not great, because he has been absolutely phenomenal. But welcome to Jays Talk on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Show Ali with you, of course, as we discuss this Jays 3-1 win over the Rays. So let's chat about it. You want to give me a call, 416-870-0590, 1-888-660-590, star 590 on your cell. 590 is the text line. Always pretty easy to reach me that way. So if you choose to send in a text, please leave your name and location so I can give you a shout out on the air. I think we experienced every possible emotion today. Honestly, in this game, every possible emotion. Delight and elation for Manoah and Merrifield, and we'll talk about Merrifield and the second base situation in a sec here, but delight for those guys, maybe some less positive emotions for Vladdy at the plate, then back up on the roller coaster when Vladdy digs some throws out of the dirt to save a run and end innings for Manoah, certainly in the 7th inning. You go back down when Bo commits yet another throwing error, and I see the text here on the text line about Bo Bichette at shortstop. You go back up when Romano strikes out Margot to end the inning. Heck, even in the top of the 9th inning, it turns out you can get flim-flammed by the Zim-Zam. Bradley Zimmer getting caught stealing for just the 8th time in his major league career. I'm exhausted. I don't know about you guys. And I've just been sitting here for the past couple of hours. I think it is to a degree telling, I would say, that they let Manoah hit a season high in pitches and ask Romano for a 4-out save, because I would imagine that does say something about the beleaguered bullpen. You know, it's a little overworked as of late, some less than reliable outings from some members of the bullpen in the last week, let's say, like going back to the first game of the Philly series. It's not as steady, let's call it, as we have become used to seeing the Blue Jays bullpen, especially after the trade deadline, right? So I guess that, especially, 2 innings from Barrios a couple days ago, 4 innings from Mitch White. So 7 innings of work from Alek Manoah and 4 outs from Jordan Romano is something you will absolutely take. But I do think that does, it doesn't take a genius to point out that that's probably very much a product of the bullpen delivering the kind of performances it has delivered. I'm still not super worried. You guys know I'm a big fan of using the term the circle of trust, and like who is and is not in the circle of trust. I think the guys who are still in there, like the Simbers of the world and Jimmy Garcia, Tim Meza, and those guys, I think they're all still in the circle of trust. I'm not super worried. So I just think maybe, it's unfortunate that a bit of a downstretch came for the Blue Jays at a very critical moment, but hey, not going to nitpick, because Meza, even though he got a couple guys on base, still looked decent, I would say. Not so much that you'd be super worried about him. And then certainly Manoah and Romano doing their thing. So I thought that was really cool. By the way, before we get to the text here, doesn't Drew Rasmussen, who is a very good pitcher, and enough said about that. The Rays just keep getting guys who are quality pitchers. They lose Shane Baz to the rest of this season and all of 2023 with the Tommy John surgery. I do truly wish him nothing but the best, because injuries stink, but they lose Shane Baz. Tyler Glasnow looks good in a rehab start. He's going to pitch next week against Cleveland. Drew Rasmussen, probably your 3rd starter in a playoff series if you're the Rays. I imagine Jeffrey Springs would just be like the stack with Glasnow, I would imagine. But doesn't Rasmussen, just looks-wise, does he not look like Kevin Pillar wearing like a red beard? I really think so. It kind of looks like Kevin Pillar trying to sneak into a game like incognito, but it's a silly thing. But Rasmussen is good. He was so efficient, so deep into this game. He was a real problem for a lot of Jays tonight. The Jays did manage to turn in some really good at-bats against him, and Merrifield, of course, making the Rays pay after the Rasmussen departure to close the books. Let's check in on the text line, and sure, give me a call again, 416-870-0590, 1-888-660-590, star 590 on your cell if you are so inclined. But you guys know I love taking the texts. Let's see, I see one here. Okay, well, I like this one. Manoah is an absolute dog, from Kyle in Prince Edward County, and dog spelled D-A-W-G, all caps. Manoah is an absolute dog. Yes, Kyler, he has a little bit of that dog in him. Manoah, just killer instinct. I love it. Like, there's no way anyone could possibly complain about Manoah at any point. I honestly wonder what a contract for Manoah looks like. I wonder if they're having those internal conversations already. Do you give him the Garrett Cole contract at this stage of his career? Would people be upset with that? Probably not, right? Garrett Cole making what, like $350 million. I'll look it up in the break, but Garrett Cole, if that's the contract you're giving to Alek Manoah, based on his performance after almost 2 seasons, I can't imagine too many people are going to complain. But yes, Manoah is an absolute dog. I agree, Kyler from Prince Edward County. Let's see. I see one here. A Will from Georgina. Show, my man, 2-hit wit plus Big Puma equals magic. LFG. Let's bleep go, I think is what Will is saying. I have a guess that many people feel the same way. Aiden in Toronto, handicap the chances that Manoah takes home the Cy Young. Look, I would love to see Manoah take home the Cy Young. I don't think that's happening this season. I think it's a very unlikely. I freely admit I'm not the world's biggest gambler because Gambler eats my dollars on a regular basis, so I've been kind of turned off on that. But when it comes to AL Cy Young chances, I don't know what the NL Cy Young chances are after Sandy Alcantara. I got to imagine it's like minus 1,000 for Sandy Alcantara and plus 10,000 for everyone else at this point. But in the AL, I think it is kind of close between Dylan Cease and Justin Verlander. Shane McClanahan is probably your dark horse. I'm trying to think here. I guess Framber Valdez is probably the other guy you'd have in that, like, fourth in that conversation. After that, I think I would probably put Alek Manoah, right? Like, if you're going, I think they only nominate 3 guys per award. So if you're only going 3, I think it probably is Cease, Verlander, McClanahan, even with the injury McClanahan suffered. But if you're expanding it to a top 5, Manoah makes the top 5. I think I might even take him over Framber Valdez. Valdez has just been it's kind of weird. He's been kind of like boring almost for the Astros. Also, while the Astros have 2 potential guys being nominated for the AL Cy Young and Verlander and Valdez. And I mean, that goes without saying the rest of those guys in the rotation who have also been pretty good, I would say, right? So, but I that's not, and don't get me wrong, that's not poo-pooing Alek Manoah whatsoever. I think it just speaks to the ludicrous seasons both Dylan Cease and Justin Verlander are having. I would look again, Shane McClanahan, good. I think a distant third. He had a very good first half of the season and a more mortal second half. But yeah, I think Alek Manoah, that's no complaint from me. Colin and Barry, these kinds of starts from Manoah just makes it more evident that he should start game 1 of the playoffs without a doubt. It's true, right? I mean, we talked about that little piece of news that Shai Davidi passed along. I guess, was it yesterday or the day before, about how John Schneider had said that if home field advantage is on the line in game 162, they'd rather use Manoah in game 162 than game 1 of the playoffs. I agree. I mean, I think, like, you'd be hard pressed to find people who say, hey, game 162 is more important than the game 1 of the playoffs. Having said that, I think there is some validity to not wanting to play in Seattle or not wanting to play in, let's say, Tampa Bay at the Trop. Like, no one wants anything to do with a 3-game wildcard series where all 3 games are in Tampa Bay, or I guess in St. Petersburg. But still, you want Manoah lined up for game 1. I certainly hope what I hope happens between now and the end of the regular season, because we got 1 more game against Tampa, 3 games starting Monday against the New York Yankees. I really hope we don't see any Aaron Judge home runs for those 3 games. Although, I mean, he's already been held without a home run for 4 games. What's 4 more? What's 3 more starting in Toronto on Monday? There's a day off, the last day off of the season on Thursday. 3 against the Red Sox at Rogers Center, and then 3 against the Orioles at Camden Yards. So a very AL East heavy schedule here with this series against the Rays. What I hope happens is the Jays just obliterate the Boston Red Sox at Rogers Center in front of a very happy home crowd. I believe actually the Saturday is, I think it's like fan appreciation weekend because it's the last home series of the regular season. So I hope that we see a lot of people down at Rogers Center, a very, very raucous crowd for the last regular season crowds of the year. I hope the Jays just crush the Red Sox so that series at Camden Yards essentially means nothing. That's my hope, so that you don't really have to entertain any conversation about Alek Manoah in game 162 in Camden Yards, so that you can use him ideally in game 1 at Rogers Center for the playoffs. But yeah, Colin and Barry, I agree. I think a lot of people agree with you here. Vincent Aurora, this game was pivotal. A win here keeps us in. Merrifield needs to be the second base starter going forward. Your thoughts on that? Let's split the series. Absolutely. Need to split the series here. Whit Merrifield, dare I say, his biggest hit as a Toronto Blue Jay, a 3-run bomb in the 7th inning. He already had the ringing double off the left center wall earlier in this game. So 2-hit Witt making an appearance tonight for the Blue Jays. Absolutely phenomenal work from him this entire series. When you work in the 2 home runs in the first game, doubly important, especially like Vince mentions, Espinal on the 10-day IL probably won't return until closer to October 2nd. Also hadn't been hitting great, generally speaking. Biggio not playing super well either, specifically at the plate. I imagine we're going to see a lot of Whit Merrifield. So far, so good, right? Early returns on the field are decent. It looks like he has some pretty good chemistry with Vladdy Jr., and that's only going to get better the more he plays. He makes the plays out there. Espinal does this too, but I think it's not a surprise with Espinal based on what we saw even going back to 2021. But Merrifield makes the plays at second base look very routine, all things considered. I think that's what you want from your infielders, right? Like spectacular plays, diving stops, and guys being backed up and delivering the ball in there. Like those are, don't get me wrong, I'll take all of those as much as possible, but making plays look like ho-hum and eating up outs, vacuuming them up, that's what you want, right? Like what more do you want to see from Whit Merrifield to tell you that he should be the second baseman over, let's say, Cavan Biggio until Espinal returns? And even when Espinal does return, if Merrifield keeps this up, he should probably just based on merit get the second base position. I would imagine just by himself. Again, Biggio in a bit of a rut, striking out quite a lot over the last few weeks, which is probably why we haven't seen him at second base with Espinal's absence. I still think also just as long as Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is unavailable and they're being cautious with him, you'll see Merrifield over Biggio at second base, which obviously, like as a domino effect, means you'll probably see Tapia and Jackie Bradley Jr. in the outfield, Springer and Hernandez out there more often than not. But when Springer is DHing, you'll probably see both JBJ and Tapia. And when he's in center field, you'll see one of those two guys. I think I'm generally speaking okay with that. And the bottom of the order, generally speaking as well, played pretty well today, right? I think you want to see more pop from the top of the order, certainly. But hey, the bottom of the order coming through, like Jackie Bradley Jr. walking in a big situation despite them not cashing in any runs in the 6th inning. But still, I think you're seeing more quality at-bats from the bottom of the order more often than not. And again, you're not going to see like Whit Merrifield hitting 2 home runs every single game, but it does make you feel more, at least me, does make me feel more confident when you can look at the bottom of the order and say, okay, maybe it's not going to be like 3 straight outs, for example. And I will say it hasn't been that way for a couple of weeks, which is, I think, very, 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 very good to see. And it makes you feel optimistic going forward. The rest, there's certainly one more game to go against Tampa, 3 against New York, 3 against Boston, 3 against the Baltimore Orioles. I wanted to play this piece of audio for you. Whit Merrifield, of course, a 2-hit Whit, 3-run home run. He was on with Arash Madani as the walk-off interview after this ball game. Why don't we hear what those guys had to say? Arash with Whit after the 3-1 win.
Whit, it was yesterday. You said who wouldn't want to be in a race like this? And then the 7th inning, you get your opportunity and do it. You gave a stare down back to that dugout. What was that moment like then to deliver such a big shot?
A big moment. Yeah, it's a big game for us. I think it's no secret that we've struggled here this year, so it was nice to kind of push ahead and finally get a winner, finally get a win here at the Trop.
It's been a tough week. 1-4 coming into this one. Just how vital was it to get a win today?
It was big. This is a team that we're going up against. We want to get to the playoffs, and we want home field at the playoffs, and we're fighting against these guys. So big win for us. We lost a couple in a row, but it's kind of how baseball goes. Good teams bounce back and find ways to win.
What is it about you in this place, man? Not just Thursday with the 2 home runs. We looked it up. It's like 1 out of every 2.7 at-bats.
I don't know. I don't know. These guys in here give me a hard time about it because I guess they don't like hitting here, but I don't mind it. So I don't know what it is. Seems to be a little shorter than fields I'm used to back in Kansas City, and so I'll take advantage and see it, hit it. Some fields, some guys just seem to see the ball well at, and this is just one of those for me.
You had a front row, back row seat of that Alex